This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua.
Rolling down 109 in a truck. Pull my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. It's all his mob and tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs, the level where funds is tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and big it and swiftly he shined the mud. That city a pity with 50 took 9 of subs. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua.
rolling down 109 in a truck. Pull my ride up to the light, that's what's up. Look to my right and it's a ride rolling up. It's Lucci telling me tonight we in the club. He got the 24 road Escalade. He got the Lamborghini doors like they blades. His hammers ring cause that's how he was raised. It's all his mob and tonight we get
Listen, I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs, the level where funds is tragic and lavish is none. With rebels, they runs and rabbits like savages' sons. With did him and big it and swiftly he shined the mud. That city a pity with 50.
I just stopped the doggone intro by mistake. Yo, it's so funny, guys, because I literally played the intro twice on purpose. That intro's so dope. It's so popping. I can't believe I stopped it. I meant to turn off the loop, because it'd be on loop, to turn off the loop, so when that one stopped, that I would come on screen, and instead I stopped the doggone intro. And in order to do it, it would have to start over again from the beginning. So sorry for those who's in the middle of. I'm from the ghetto, the slums, the rats, the roaches, the bums, the metal that stuns, the addicts, the cracks, the crumbs, the levels with funds, cause tragic and lavish is none. With rebels they run and ravish like savages' sons. Alright? With Diddy met Biggie and quickly he shined them up. Just for those who don't know that metaphor, I said where Diddy, the one who's being charged with all that Fulio stuff he got going on, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Puff Diddy, Puff Diddy Daddy, whatever, Puff, I was about to, I was about to say Puff pedophile, but I don't want to put that on him because I don't, I don't know that that's the truth, but Puff, whatever they accusing him of, allegedly, whatever he being accused of. I said, where Diddy met Biggie and swiftly he shined them up. Now that metaphor go over a lot of people's head. It says, I said, where Pity, that's what I'm saying, from New York City, where Diddy met Biggie and quickly he shined them up. What I mean by that is Shine is the rapper. Y'all remember Shine, the rapper Shine from Brooklyn, the one who went down, who got, what's the name? Extradited, who went to jail for Puff Daddy's case when they with Jennifer Lopez and all that stuff, I think from back in the 90s. So Shine was his rapper after Biggie Smalls. He rhymed like Biggie Smalls. So I said where Diddy met Biggie and quickly he shined him up. So it's a metaphor that will go over most people's heads. So he shined Biggie up because Biggie was, dusty and dirty from Brooklyn, and he put him, shined him up, put him in suits, but the metaphor is Shine, rapper Shine, Diddy shined him up. All right, whatever, right? So anyway, so shout out to everybody, shout out to Dayad, Lion of y'all out there in Bed-Stuy, out there in Brooklyn. I'm not sure if you're in Bed-Stuy right now. Yah could be anywhere. He be traveling all over the world. Shout out to Larry Yah in the Bronx. Shout out to Ahava Yah and to Yasha Yaha out there in Canada. I see Ahava Yah, you said Yasha is traveling. Shout out safe travels to my brother Yasha. Hopefully you listen in. If not, you'll see us on a Sabbath Bible study tomorrow night. Shout out to Abriya out there in Texas. I think last time I said Abriya, you was in Ohio. That's Adriana Yah that's in Ohio. Shout out to Adriana Yah too. I haven't seen Adriana Yah in a long time. You might as well eat this. And just bring me some fruit or something. 'Cause I ain't gonna have no time to eat that. Because then I'll be talking. Matter of fact, bring it. I don't know. I'll see if I can. Give um what you gonna eat that one? What you gonna do with it? Throw it away? That's what I just said. You're gonna eat that when you said no. So it's yes or no. You sure? Don't waste no food. I don't be wasting no food. All right, well, bring some fruit, please, or something. Sorry, guys. We have having no. It's because I be wanting to try to eat something before I start to start the lesson, and sometimes they forget to help me out, and I'm like, how I'm going to eat? It's not like the Bible study tonight where everybody can talk. I'm like, how I'm going to eat food while I'm trying to talk and teach the thing. All right, so shout out. So yeah, Abriya, she said, yep. Abriya's in Houston, Texas. I said Houston, Texas. Shout out to Adriana Yah. She's in Ohio. We haven't seen. I just thought of her yesterday or something. Hopefully, Adriana Yah is being blessed out there. We haven't seen or heard from her in a long time. Hopefully, she watched this and see it. Shout out to Yahakanan in the building. Shout out to Phyllis Richards in the building. Shout out to Zayana. Shout out to I think that's all we got so far. And Alina, daughter of Yah, in the building. Yashara La in the building. Delara Shah in the building. Yahakanan in the building. Shout out to Young Wayat in the building. All right, so shout out to everybody in the building. Everybody who coming a little later. I know I was a little late getting the what's the name, getting the what you call that, getting the thumbnail and stuff out. All right, and I know it's an interesting thumbnail. I know a lot of y'all is like, huh, what is going on here tonight? All right, so let me okay, that's set up. I see the comments. Welcome everybody to Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. I hope everybody's been having a blessed day. Hope you guys having a blessed week. Shout out to everybody over there on Facebook that I guess some of the people will be coming in a little later. I know my thing went up really late. I ain't put it up to like almost 7 p.m. So thank you so much. Anything to drink? No, nothing to drink. No, we poor people. We got no cranberry juice. We poor. Guess we got water tonight. Let me get a drink of water really quick, guys. No cranberry juice. Sometimes the struggle bus is real, but I gotta pay. I'm gonna eat later. Struggle bus is real. All right. So, welcome to Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. Now, tonight, the thumbnail. Tonight, as most of you guys know, some people don't know in this channel, I'm a minister, actually a man of the Most High. I have a whole ministry channel on YouTube, Mashiach Assembly Ministries, Uncle Yahshua, Mashiach Assembly Ministries, House of the Most High, House of Yah, and I'm Uncle Yahshua, Yah. I'm a minister, man of the Most High. So, and this is my testimony TV channel, but also this is a channel, as you can see from some of the videos, if y'all go in the video catalog and the live stream, I'm mostly telling my testimony life stories. But on the channel, I tell crime stories, true crime stories, stories of street life, life of the streets, of trial, tribulation, turmoil, poverty, injustice, like these different things. And I try to bring real life events as well, because I'm a man of spirit. Sometimes things are going to be shooken up a little bit. Things are going to be shooken up a little bit. So tonight, what happened with this story tonight was the Most High just put it on me to address something. All right, and now we about to do it. We about to shake it up. So I guess next live, we'll get right back to regularly scheduled programming. But tonight, we about to shake something up. It's a lot different things that's going to go on here tonight. What we are going to bring out tonight can be disturbing well, is very disturbing, not can be. It's very disturbing. There are realities going on in this world, and they are not, they're very, there are some very dark realities and things that are going on in this world. And we are not to be covering up these things because the scripture says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. So if you don't know about a thing, or nothing, no attention or no light is being shined upon a thing, it's as if it didn't happen and it goes unnoticed. And that, in a semblance, is a thing of allowing the thing to continue to happen, because exposure means things are being seen and brought to light and manifested. So if you don't show something or you hide something, then this thing can still do manifest under the surface, and the darkness or the sin or the travesty or thing can continue to proliferate. It can continue to go on and on. So we are called, as I'm a purveyor of truth. I'm a man of the Most High. So I'm a purveyor of truth, and I ain't scared of nobody. I ain't scared of these iggas. So I bring truth to power. So whenever the Most High puts it on my heart to bring something to light, then I'm going to do it. You understand? And tonight, we're going to expose something tonight that's very, very traumatizing and dark, but it's a reality. And this thing is going on. And after we show this clip and we discuss, I wish people was with me on the screen, but you guys discuss. I'll be reading your comments. So I want you guys to express yourselves in the comments, and to explain your feelings, your thoughts, your opinions, and I'll read them as you post them. And but this is something that needs to be exposed and light shown on it, because these things and these acts are continuing to happen. And they happen through all nationalities of people. It doesn't matter what race, color, creed, or nationality that you are. This thing is happening. And it's one of the darkest things that can ever happen. But it also goes back into antiquity. This has been happening for thousands of years. And we, as purveyors of truth, this is Testimony TV. This is a channel of truth. As everything I tell on here is truth to power. You know me, I bring receipts for everything I'm saying, for everything that I say. I just don't come up here. And then you have people who come from, where I'm from in New York, who can bear witness and testimony to the things that I speak and the life that was lived back then, even though I did all my time for all the crimes that I committed back then. But it's a channel of testimony and healing and repentance and recovery, So the scripture says others are saved by your testimony. So the fact that you testify to the thing that you went through and the thing that someone else can identify and learn from your mistakes, so they don't have to repeat it. So what is going to be exposed tonight is something very heavy and dark. And what I guess the Most High wants to come out from this tonight is that we need to be aware of our surroundings. Be aware of your next door neighbor. Be aware of your family members. Be aware of friends, or when you go to visit someone in their house or something. Keep your eye on swivel and keep your ears and eyes open, because what is coming out tonight, we are all called as adults to protect. And sometimes the system doesn't protect. The system, the police system, the justice system, the social networks, the social system, sometimes they don't do their job and they fail. So we as people are called to police ourselves, right, as well. Yes, ever vigilant, and to watch and to protect and serve each other, one another as well. So the title is called Okay, I'm Okay Now. It's the title of the thumbnail tonight. It's called I'm Okay Now. I'm Not a Monster. Okay? I'm okay now. And you see the image of the picture in the thumbnail. That's a statement that brother in the image made that statement in the newspaper. That brother is from New York City. He's from a place in New York City called the Bronx. He's from a place in I think it's the North Bronx, called Edenwald Projects. Edenwald Projects, for the 25 to life space, the people who like the crime stories of New York in the 80s and the 90s. That's where the leader of Sex Money Murder Bloods Drug Gang come from. Sex Money Murder Bloods Drug Gang, I think, was born in Edenwald Projects. And that individual is called Pistol Pete. He had a life sentence. Pete Rolock, for those. I'll be doing his story on our channel too, on this channel too. Very intriguing and terrifying and horrible story. But Edenwald, if y'all watch my video on my channel, where's the video on this channel about the Jamaican Shower Posse, that story where me and my boy Czar and with the police, we was in the Bronx going to pick up. That's where we was at, Edenwald. We was going past Edenwald Projects, Gun Hill Road, to go to the bridge in that story. So if y'all go back on my channel, it's called Jamaican Shower Posse. Yeah, that's one of the titles. A very good story, very good video. And that story with the bridge, Edenwald Projects was over there. We went past Edenwald. So very big projects in New York City. Very famous, very dark history. The story of this brother on the thumbnail who said he's okay, he's not a monster. He's from Edenwald Projects. This story takes place in Edenwald Projects, and it was from in the 1980s into the 90s. It's a very disturbing story. So viewer discretion is advised. Very traumatizing story, but it is to be shed light on, and names are not to be forgotten. Tragedies happen to people, and if you allow society, it'll just be wiped under the rug and people forgotten like it never happened, so that these acts can continue later. Our job is to point light on it and hopefully bring some understanding and maybe stop this from happening from someone else, or prevent it from continuing for a long period of time to lead to tragedy, to bring awareness. So always stay vigilant. Don't foolishly prejudge, but use your discernment and stay vigilant and watch, because we're called to be each other's keeper. All right. With that intro, let's get started. Shout out to Intentions on YouTube for narrating this video. We're going to discuss, this video is fair use, falls under fair use for the video disclaimer, fair use for educational purposes. And then after it, the reason how this story came, the Most High brought this story for me to bring it out, is because there's something else that happened right now. So after we discuss this video and share it and break this down as a family, as I said, I'm gonna read you guys' comments. Then the second part is something that just happened now, but it ties in. All right. With that, I'm gonna share screen, and welcome to Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. I'm your brother and your host, Uncle Yahshua, also, Uncle Yahya Shah, also known as Uncle Yahshua. And we are Mashiach Assembly Ministries as well, in the comments section and all of that. All right, present, share screen. This is the story All right, let's just go. Here we go. I'm going to make it full screen. Let me make it full screen. Okay, so I have to exit the full screen first. I have to start it, then make it full screen. Here we go. Story. Share. Bingo.
Violence in the Edenwald houses that led this past weekend to the death.
Adam Mann was born on February 20th of 1985 and resided in the Bronx, New York.
This is the story of Adam Mann. This is happening in Edenwald in the Bronx.
He was born to a woman by the name of Michelle Mann and a man by the name of Rufus Chisholm. At the time, Michelle Mann resided at 4030 Laconia Ave, while Chisholm resided nearby at 1153 East 229th. Adam had 3 older brothers and a young sister who was only a few months old, and during his short...
This little boy name is Adam, and we are telling this story. We are sharing this story so that this little boy's life is not forgotten, and for others who are suffering now as we speak and being harmed, that we have awareness. Some of us were abused as children through different levels. I'm a man, as I said, I'm a minister. I am a true minister. And our ministry are for people from all over the world. And I have ministry sessions and calls of healing and deliverance where I've heard stories from young men and women who were abused as children, who some of the things that I've heard have shook me to my core, because I can't even imagine that someone would have to endure such a thing. And I'm thankful to the Most High that even though I've endured some very traumatic upbringing and things, certain levels I didn't have to endure. So for those of you at home and those of you who watch this video later who suffer, or some know are suffering from different acts of abuse and trauma, just know that the whole world is not dark. And there are some people who really do care about you and really do love you, even if we don't know you. We love your spirit. And there's no explanation why certain things happen to certain people. But I know that the Most High granted everyone free will. So people have the will to do as they may. But there will be a judgment at the end of it all, where they will pay for their acts and deeds. But there is a thing called repentance as well. So it's not explained why certain things are allowed or certain things happen to certain people. But with free will, we are not robots. The Most High didn't create us to be robots, so that our free will, that's why you have people have the will to just do an evil thing. It's their free will. They're not controlled. We're not controlled robots. We're actually beings, and we have the free will to do good or evil. And all praise to the Most High, we do have the ability to repent if truly in your heart and ask for forgiveness. And maybe at the judgment, it won't go as bad. The final judgment for those who believe there is one. You got to believe in something. Some people believe you're just going to turn into a beetle or a bug and come back again. Some people believe nothing, just total darkness. So you believe in something. I believe there's a final judgment. The story tonight is for this little brother on the screen, Adam, 5 years old. Let's continue.
Short time here, him and his brothers would all share a very close bond. Their childhoods weren't the easiest, but even through the difficult challenges they faced, they had some of the best memories together growing up in the Bronx. To pass the time during the summers, the Mann brothers would spend time at the local pool, keeping cool in the sweltering heat. They loved going swimming and being in the water. They also loved going to the parks together and playing football since they were all very energetic kids. Other activities included the kids and family going to their grandparents' apartment, where the children spent time running through the home and dancing with their aunt and the rest of the adults. A lot of these activities might sound very familiar because a lot of us have some of those same memories. But unfortunately, since long before Adam was even born, his siblings were dealing with a level of trauma that many wouldn't even believe. A history of abuse followed the household, as chronicled in the documentary mentioned earlier. It would highlight just how many failures it took for this child to lose his life, and it would delve deep into the dark history of severe abuse that was always an issue. While potty training one of the children, it was stated that Michelle Mann was cruel and excessive with the child. Mann herself.
This is the child's mother, Adam Mann. This is Michelle Mann of the Bronx, of Eden World Projects. These things happen through all nationalities of people. Not just white, not just black, not just Hispanic, through all nationalities. Pay attention to your surroundings and your circle.
Had experience growing up in the same system her children would become so familiar with. She was also abused as a child. Her mother was often in prison. Her mother died while trying to stab another woman during a fight because she ran through a 6-story window, falling to her death in the process. Her mother also had a history of drug abuse. Aside from that, Mann also stated that her adoptive father would consistently violate her, and she was even taken out of his care because of those allegations. But eventually, she was returned to his home, even when it was known that she was violated by him. She found it very hard to bond with her kids or properly care for them, presumably because of these contributing factors. The same treatment was given to her kids at her hands when it came to violence. On one occasion, case records show that the same child who was filmed in The Child Savers was taken to the hospital for a broken jaw. For that, the child's grandfather was blamed, although it couldn't be substantiated at the time. And this was said to have taken place just 12 days after the frontline news crew was in the home. A caseworker by the name of Helen Hennigan was called by doctors, and when she got involved, she witnessed some of this behavior for herself. One time during a visit, she witnessed Michelle Mann slap one of the children. When the child wouldn't do as he was told, or if he didn't do his business on the toilet, he would be forced to sit on the toilet for hours, and then forced into a closet where he couldn't see the light of day for hours on end. Hennigan had absolutely no power to take the children out of the home, but she was very clear on how she felt about all of this. She knew those children were in serious danger. So, during another visit, she filed another abuse report on this same child. A few days later, Dr. Robert Sundell of Columbia Presbyterian also filed an abuse report on the same kid. He stated that the child was found to be covered in bruises and he had many fractures. He was also treated for a fractured skull. And one of the first questions asked by the lead caseworker was, couldn't this have been possible from falling? Because the excuse was that the child fell. It was constant injuries like these that would cause quiet outrage among the doctors in the hospital, who knew there was clearly a pattern of abuse and trauma in this household. It was as if the lead caseworker, a man by the name of George Medina, simply didn't want to take child abuse as the reason these kids were always injured.
So this is the caseworker, this dude, George Medina. He didn't do his job and turned a blind eye. And because of it, a tragedy was allowed to happen in this household with these boys, these little kids, for years and years and years. And nothing was done about it.
Nothing was being done. Instead, he was covering himself, since he had been absent for such a large portion of the abuse and the neglect, not doing his job. He hadn't been to the house to visit in months, even though he was supposed to be visiting on a monthly basis, leaving those children in a very violent home. The doctors urged Hennigan and her agency to keep filing reports or to try and step in. But again, Hennigan didn't hold the power. About a week later, in June of 1984, a petition of child abuse was finally filed against Michelle Mann by George Medina, and Adam's siblings were removed from the home. They were placed in the Brooklyn Home for Children while they waited on the outcome of a hearing in the case. This was finally done because George Medina the one overseeing the Mann case, who had failed to visit the household for so long, had no choice but to finally address it. As mentioned, this was a caseworker who was not doing his home visits or following up at all. And all of this while abuse was a consistent activity at the home. People had seen it with their own eyes. Helen Hennigan, working for a private agency, couldn't do much, and the case belonged to Medina. It was he who held the ability to make things happen. Another caseworker who had visited the Mann home at another time even offered to testify to let the world know about the abuse that was happening in the home. But he was told by George Medina to mind his position and stay out of the entire ordeal altogether. The child in question had experienced severe abuse dating back at least 14 months. His injuries included a pierced intestine, ruptured spleen, liver damage, and fractures that covered his face, head, arms, and ribs. She told the caseworker that the child fell and hit himself on a radiator, resulting in his head injuries. But these injuries weren't the type of injuries children sustain while playing around, not something you see every day. The doctors would find themselves.
This child had pierced intestines. All of these different injuries. And this is before little Adam. This is before little Adam. So all of these things that you're going to hear were before little Adam, and it could have, what he suffered could have got prevented.
I was more shocked each time one of these children were brought in. Injuries you wouldn't think would be possible for a child to walk around with. The aunt of the children would say the following about her interview in family court, giving insight to just how horrific this abuse had become. They wanted to know what happened to his head. He had a fractured skull. Me and my mother was brushing his hair. I brushed his hair and I called my mother to look, and he had a soft spot. Our fingers went right inside of it, and then there was one in the back. He wanted to know what happened. I said, I don't know what happened. I wasn't there. Now, these injuries could have
Did y'all hear that? She said they were brushing his hair, and their hand went inside of his head, a hole in his head.
resulted in Michelle Mann landing in prison for up to 10 years. This would never happen, though, because the case was never once brought to the attention of the district attorney. George Medina never reported it. He instead brought the case to family court.
Did y'all hear that? The mother should have been arrested and faced in prison up to 10 years, but instead it never happened because that caseworker, George Medina, never reported it and took it to family court.
Now, these injuries could have resulted in Michelle Mann landing in prison for up to 10 years. This would never happen, though, because the case was never once brought to the attention of the district attorney. George Medina never reported it. He instead brought the case to family court. And in family court, there's nothing to be done about criminal allegations. Michelle Mann would face a judge on allegations that she was beating her children, and she was going to later plead guilty to excessive corporal punishment. But that charge was reduced to just neglect. And so, regardless of all the evidence supporting that this child was mercilessly beaten and his body showing signs of abuse while in this woman's care, the child was sent right back to live with his mother.
Now, can you imagine what's happening to these children and then thinking they're getting help, and then the system just gave them right back? You know, for those who study psychology and understand trauma, when these things happen and the person that's inflicting the pain, when they get arrested or get in trouble, and then it gets cleared and the child gets given back to them, the person who's inflicting it feels resentment for, like it's like the child's or whoever they inflicting the pain, it's like they did cause them problems because they got arrested. So then it actually gets worse. All right. Yes, Lavia said The mom might have known how the ropes go because she dealt with it. And hurt people as well. That's why we're called to bring a light to situations and don't close a blind eye. Just pay attention to everything, especially when it concerns children and animals and older people. The elderly, animals and children really need our extra eyes and ears to protect them, because a lot of them can't protect themselves against the evil that's in some people. All right. Now, all of this, guys, that's been happening in this home for years to this point, where these children were beaten, holes in their skulls, punctured intestines, all of this stuff. Adam wasn't even born. So this woman and her husband had another child. So Adam was being born into this hellhole, this situation. He's being born into this situation. Like, first of all, this woman and her husband, whoever's in that house, should be imprisoned for this thing, but they allow to have another child. An infant given into the care of these sick people, because this is a sickness. They are sick. This can't go well. It's almost impossible for this to go well. All right. Now, Adam, man, is now born.
In February of 1985, Adam Mann was born into protective custody and kept at the hospital's nursery. These measures had to be taken because, unfortunately, not much had changed. There was still a history of severe abuse, and soon the violence would begin to shift from the other children to also include little Adam, but not before affecting one of the other children, another brother of Adam's. The child was badly beaten.
So when Adam was born, he was born into protective custody. If you're an infant and you're born and you have to be in protective custody, there's no way you should be left in the care. This is the father that's on the cover of the thumbnail that said he's not a monster and he's okay now. These are the four boys. They had all boys. So when Adam was born, this stuff was still going on. And so when he was born, one of his older brothers, there was an abuse happening right when he was being returned, when he was given to the family.
Another brother of Adam's. The child was badly beaten and taken to the hospital, where doctors found that he had a broken leg. Their mother said he fell out of the bed. Over time, more of his injuries included a broken arm and broken wrist. It was said that he always had broken bones, resulting in the children, once again, being taken to the Brooklyn Home for Children. When Adam was born, an order was received by Helen Hennigan advising that Adam not be left in the care of his so-called parents. He was kept in the protective care of child welfare to make sure that he was safe. But Michelle Mann wanted her children back, and again, she was given custody, but only if she went into an intense rehabilitation for parenting. She would enter the New York Foundling Center, a place for parents who abuse their children.
So this mother, who's beating and allowing these children to be beaten, to have broken bones, broken skulls, punctured lungs, punctured intestines, all of these things, she went and pleaded she want her children back. And And so she went into the New York Foundling Counseling Home Center. Let's just go. I have to do this. So I told you, I'm a man of the Most High, and sometimes He instruct me to do something. Dude, this is for somebody. Maybe this can save somebody. Maybe for someone watching this video or seeing it, even later when the channel gets bigger and blows up more, someone can see it and find out that something is happening in their family or with the neighbors or something. But that's why we're called to bring the light to situations. Okay.
He was kept in the protective care of child welfare to make sure that he was safe. But Michelle Mann wanted her children back. And again, she was given custody, but only if she went into an intense rehabilitation for parenting. She would enter the New York Foundling Center, a place for parents who abuse their children. At just 6 months old, this was where Adam was, along with his mother and one of his siblings, where they would remain for the next year. After a year, they were discharged from the center, and although they were obligated to make sure that these children were taken into a safe and suitable environment, the people at the Foundling Center would just tell Michelle Mann to move into a shelter. The family had nowhere else to go. Therefore, they returned to the Laconia houses, where Michelle and the children lived with Michelle's father. A week after she came back to the home, the father of the children, Rufus Chisholm, also moved in. Rufus and Michelle had a long history, meeting back when Michelle was only 15 years old. They were in a constant cycle of abuse and many tense moments. In some of the footage recorded by Frontline, a very angry Chisholm held nothing back as he expressed his anger at caseworkers arriving at the home. The caseworkers were accompanied by a police officer for protection. It didn't stop Chisholm from yelling in front of cameras. He had this to say: "These is my kids. I love them. They don't love them. When they don't got no food or nothing, they don't give them nothing. I gotta get it. They don't help them do nothing. They trying to mess our lives up. They trying to take something that we love, you know? There's no need for this. I swear I will never forget this day." Now those words are very chilling when you already know how the story ends. Once the family was back in the Bronx, a caseworker from the Foundling Center visited the Mann home and entered yet another abuse report, stating that Michelle Mann had the kids in an environment that was violent and not okay for them. With this one report, the responsibility of what happens to the Mann children was shifted back to child welfare, where things were always a mess to begin with. Normally, I'd love to tell you more about the happier days when it comes to little Adam's life, but unfortunately, those were rare. While some of these caseworkers were reporting that the kids were fine and perfectly happy, they were back and forth to the hospital with broken bones. They also had scars, burns, and other serious injuries. I have to warn that the following details will be very disturbing for some. A caseworker by the name of Mary Newman was the new caseworker assigned to the Mann case. On October 2nd of 1986, she contacted the caseworker from the Foundling Center and stated that there was no reason to remove the children from the household. Newman made her home visit as required by law and had intentions of closing this case. For the next 2 years, the abuse would only become even worse for the children, especially.
You see that? She went and said there's no reason for these children to be removed from the home. From all this history of abuse, all these broken bones through these children, the unsafe living conditions, there's no reason for these children to be removed from this home, to be allowed to be beaten and tortured.
Law and had intentions of closing this case. For the next 2 years, the abuse would only become even worse for the children, especially Adam. The sister of Rufus Chisholm recalls coming by the home to find Adam standing in a corner with his hands above his head. She walked over and asked him why he was in the corner doing this. As tears began to stream down his face, he would reply that he was in trouble and being punished. She stated that he looked different from the other times. His eyes began to roll to the back of his head, and he kept his arms up. The woman would then ask Michelle Mann why he was being treated this way, and her response was, Adam was bad. He was stealing food and juice from the fridge at night, more than likely because he wasn't being fed. Michelle Mann had a growing frustration as she was failing to potty train Adam, so she began to starve and beat him as a punishment. Anytime that Adam was beaten, he was never taken to the doctor. She would take her other children to the doctor and pass them off as
So the father's sister came by and seen Adam with his hands in the air. She stated that he looked different. And she asked her, why is he being punished? Why is he there? She said, because he went in the refrigerator to steal food. Now, the mother, Michelle, was frustrated from trying to potty train Adam, which is he was probably not potty training, right? And probably even pissing the bed because of the beating and the trauma he's seeing happening and all of that type of stuff, right? And sometimes it's hard, especially little boys, it's harder to potty train little boys sometimes, right? I've raised children to adulthood. So because of him not potty training, she would not let him give him food and drink. I've heard of that. They would deny him food and drink. So he was probably trying to sneak in the refrigerator because he was starving and hungry. And because of him being starved and hungry and then trying to get food, it further fuels the beatings. So it's a perpetual cycle of torture. Yahakanah said the lack of life in his eyes are chilling. Okay, let's continue.
Adam, telling the caseworkers about the other children's less severe injuries and beat him as a punishment on the back of his head, and he kept his arms up. The woman would then ask Michelle Mann why he was being treated this way, and her response was, Adam was bad. He was stealing food and juice from the fridge at night, more than likely because he wasn't being fed. Michelle Mann had a growing frustration as she was failing to potty train Adam, so she began to starve and beat him as a punishment. Anytime that Adam was beaten, he was never taken to the doctor. She would take her other children to the doctor and pass them off as Adam, telling the caseworkers about the other children's less severe injuries, making it seem like Adam's injuries weren't all that bad. During this time, while the children were all being abused, caseworkers flat out stopped showing up at the home. It was as if these children were never even on the radar to begin with. According to the caseworker, Mary Newman, she stated she thought the case was sent back to the Foundling Center once she entered her report. When she found out that the case wasn't sent back, she was disgusted with how things were handled. She had about 60 to 70 other cases she was assigned to, and she didn't think that going back to the Mann home was necessary. But the beatings were happening just as much or more frequently. During this time, another brother of Adam's received a broken arm and was treated at the hospital. When asked how he got this broken arm, the child would tell them that his mother did it. Still, the children remained under her care, and that same child was beaten yet again with the same broken arm, making the injury even worse. Still no removal. Years passed and it was
So the child gets the broken arm beaten. They don't take them out the home. He comes back to the hospital again, beaten in the same broken arm, making it even worse. And still, nothing happened. That caseworker lady talking about she feels no need to go back to the house. Let's continue.
same situation. The kids in a terrible environment with a woman who didn't know how to be a mother and imposed the harshest punishments when her kids couldn't potty train correctly or didn't do as told. On top of the already well-known facts about this case by this point, at some point toward the end, it would become very clear that the children were also malnourished. 7 long years of abuse, neglect, hospital visits, and severe trauma would lead us to March 5th of 1990, when Adam was the target of the most brutal attack yet, and his brothers were there to witness the entire thing. During the early morning hours of that day, Adam was sound asleep when Rufus Chisholm would rush through the bedroom door, fueled by nothing but anger. According to reports, Chisholm would become enraged at Adam taking food from the fridge. He was so angry that he would begin to relentlessly attack Adam, causing a savagely violent beating to rage on at 4030 Laconia Ave in the Edenwald houses, a beating that would last about an hour long. Chisholm wanted to know why Adam, who wasn't being fed regularly, was in the fridge taking food. When he didn't get the answers he wanted, he struck Adam with blow after blow from his fists at full force, each blow heavier than the last on Adam's small, malnourished frame. He struck him with whatever he could get his hands on. He took a book bag he found near and began striking Adam with it all over his body. He also inflicted critical blows to Adam's body with a stick and a belt, hitting him so hard so many times that he left his body with more than 100 welts, bruises, and lacerations all over his 35-pound body.
This man came home angry. Adam was 5 years old. 35 pounds, definitely malnourished because they wasn't even feeding him. And he beat him, punched him, hit him with sticks, book bags. I know this is a lot to digest and hard to receive, but it's happening and still happening. Yes, Dayat, an hour-long beating from a grown man, not even a small man, on a 5-year-old child, an hour long. The thumbnails, this is the man in the thumbnail, and he said in the thumbnail, "I'm okay. I'm okay now. I'm not a monster. I'm okay now." All right. I know it's a lot, but let's get through it. Let's get through it.
The scars went from his head with it all over his body. He also inflicted critical blows to Adam's that would last about an hour long. Chisholm wanted to know why Adam, who wasn't being fed regularly, was in the fridge taking food. When he didn't get the answers he wanted, he struck Adam with blow after blow from his fists at full force, each blow heavier than the last on Adam's small, malnourished frame. He struck him with whatever he could get his hands on. He took a book bag he found near and began striking Adam with it all over his body. He also inflicted critical blows to Adam's body with a stick and a belt, hitting him so hard so many times that he left his body with more than 100 welts, bruises, and lacerations all over his 35-pound body. The scars went from his head to his back to his chest. His lips were badly beaten, swollen, and his chest showed so much trauma that it looked like he had been crushed, likely from Chisholm's weight on top of him. During the assaults, the brothers would also state that they were there to see the whole thing, and they watched as Adam was bound and hung from a coat rack, only to be used as a punching bag, his bones breaking from the repeated blows to his body. And the entire time, Adam begged for his father to stop, begging him for mercy. It was also said that throughout the years of torment, Michelle Mann's father had violated Adam, the same way he allegedly violated Michelle, and his body still bore those signs. A neighbor would rush Adam, still wearing his pajamas, to Our Lady of Mercy Hospital. This was after Chisholm knocked on the neighbor's door, stating that Adam wasn't breathing. When doctors got a hold of Adam's body, they were shocked to say the least, completely thrown by the fact that they had this child's body in front of them.
It's so ironic that he was rushed to Our Lady of Mercy Hospital. The irony in that is so striking and horrible. Our Lady of Mercy Hospital. He said he hung him from a coat rack and used him as a punching bag and beat every square inch of his body. This grown man. Our Lady of Mercy Hospital.
Our Lady of Mercy Hospital. This was after Chisholm knocked on the neighbor's door, stating that Adam wasn't breathing. When doctors got a hold of Adam's body, They were shocked to say the least, completely thrown by the fact that they had this child's body in front of them, broken, battered, and lifeless. Doctors stated that at one time or the other, every single bone in Adam's body had been broken. During his final moments, one of the blows that Rufus Chisholm delivered to Adam's small frame was so severe that it would split his liver in two, with him quickly losing consciousness. It's believed that this was the blow that killed Adam. His suffering would finally come to an end when he was pronounced dead at 9:45 a.m. The opportunity to learn the truth about how and why this city failed Adam Mann and his brothers was lost when there was no trial in the case. This is because of the pleas entered by Chisholm and Mann. The veil of secrecy that covered the Child Welfare Administration made it impossible to learn the truth without a trial. So, no real responsibility was ever taken. A confidential memorandum that was sent to the Commissioner of New York City's Human Resources Administration clearly stated that all who worked on the Adam Mann case failed. The Fatality Review Board stated that they all failed to properly detect and address the issues going on in the home, leaving the children in an extremely violent household. They failed terribly on follow-ups, and they simply had not done even close to enough. In that same memo, they would suggest that all family members or agencies be contacted if or when things reach this point. And with that being said, the case of Adam Mann was closed, as if it never happened at all. Not one worker involved in that case or their supervisors ever faced any consequences or disciplinary action for their neglect. These so-called child savers were exactly like the so-called parents in this case, neglectful. Funeral arrangements were being made for Adam by Michelle Mann. She went to McCall's Bronxwood Funeral Home at 4035 Bronxwood Avenue. At this point, Rufus Chisholm had already been questioned and charged in the death of Adam Mann, but Michelle had been avoiding the police. So they set up surveillance at this funeral home, knowing that she would soon arrive to make final arrangements for Adam's burial. It was here that she too was arrested so that she could answer for her part in the brutal slaying of her own son. The death of Adam Mann would quickly make its way around the city. Soon after, reports in other states would surface of a child whose life was taken at the hands of his own parents after years of savage abuse. The news came as a shock to many, but many also knew of the abuse, but they were still surprised at how extreme the situation had become. Adam's siblings would be put into the foster care system after witnessing the worst thing imaginable. The years of abuse and recent tragedy affected the children in a multitude of ways. According to reports, on one occasion, one of Adam's brothers tried to run into traffic, attempting to take his own life, because he said he wanted to join his brother in heaven. During visitations with family, the children could be heard talking about Adam and recalled seeing his face and name in the papers and on the news after his life was taken. They knew exactly how terrible the situation was and noticed the media frenzy surrounding their family. But still, they tried their best to cope. The effects of their trauma can be seen on film, and it's truly one of the hardest things to watch. Michelle Mann was released from prison in 1994 after serving time for 2 assault charges in relation to hitting her children with a belt, even if it was confirmed for years that her role in the abuse was much bigger. She was given 3 years. That's what she served. Rufus Chisholm was sentenced to 7 to 14 years in prison and was eligible for parole in 1997. He is also a free man.
3 years and 7 years for the death, beating of a child, murder, and continual beating of children. 3 years and 7 years. And no official got charged with anything. Let's continue.
Before his release, Chisholm, who found religion in the prison system, was interviewed at Clinton Correctional in 1996. He expressed his regret, but at the same time, told a story that was very different from that of his kids who witnessed it, as if to minimize the level of severity. He had this to say about his actions. I'm not that person anymore, but no matter what I say, I know people are going to think I'm a monster. I have to prove myself through my actions. Some nights, I wish he could appear because I wonder if he died thinking they don't love me. I want to hear him say, "Daddy, I forgive you."
Y'all hear that? Do y'all hear the selfishness? It's still all about him. I'm wondering, he said, I'm wondering if he died thinking we don't love him. As he's punching him and beating him to death, as he's hanging from a coat rack. I'm wondering if he died thinking we don't love him, as he's begging him to stop. As the other brothers are probably huddled in a corner, crying, thinking they might be next. I want to hear him say, "Daddy, I forgive you." Now, there's a thing called repentance, and we are called to forgive so we could be forgiven. So, we can't, oh my goodness, that's up to the Most High. I like, you can't even, yes, Yahakanai, no apologies to his son. So he, not to apologize to his son, but so he could hear his son say, "I forgive you." The selfishness. Like, that part, I know people going to think I'm a monster. I'm not the same that I was before. Repentance is, I repent and I'm sorry. I was a monster then. I was, under devil activity. Please, I repent and I beg for forgiveness for my children. I ask my children to please forgive me for my sin, and I ask all, everyone. Like, repentance is something that you showing that you are sorry for your actions. He's trying to make himself, he cares about how he looks. I know people gonna think I'm a monster. I'm okay now. I'm doing better now. All right.
About his actions. I'm not that person anymore, but no matter what I say, I know people are going to think I'm a monster. I have to prove myself through my actions. Some nights, I wish he could appear because I wonder if he died thinking they don't love me. I want to hear him say, "Daddy, I forgive you." For his surviving sons, he had the following to say. I want them to know that even though things are hard right now, they do have someone who loves them. I want to be a part of their lives again.
Whoa. Whoa. Repentance is required for everyone. It's able. Repentance is able for everyone, unless you blaspheme the Holy Spirit. That's what the scripture says. But him telling his other children he want to be part of their lives again. That's not my call. If it was in my family, if it was up to me, I don't know. Not without police supervision, not without supervision. It should be mandated that forever he should not be around those children unsupervised. Ever. That's just what I feel. He's not the same.
Who witnessed it, as if to minimize the level of severity. He had this to say about his actions. I'm not that person anymore, But no matter what I say, I know people are going to think I'm a monster. I have to prove myself through my actions. Some nights, I wish he could appear because I wonder if he died thinking they don't love me. I want to hear him say, "Daddy, I forgive you." For his surviving sons, he had the following to say: I want them to know that even though things are hard right now, they do have someone who loves them. I want to be a part of their lives again. We can make it as a family. Even after Adam's life was taken, after years and years of torment that went from child to child, 2 of the remaining man children were still returned to their mother, Michelle Mann. They didn't even think about what type of effect this would have on the children. Years and years of violence that ended with their brother savagely slain was a part of their new normal. As they grew older and tried to move on from their traumatic past, the man children would go on to become teens and then enter adulthood. Keith has children of his own and finds solace in the fact that his experiences and that of his brothers taught him what it meant to be a parent. He knew he wanted to handle parenthood in the healthiest of ways, never put his kids through what he once experienced. He doesn't mind speaking about what took place and thinks that the topic of child abuse is one that should continue to be addressed to raise awareness. He doesn't shy away from his past, but has long gotten over what took place, moving forward with a positive mind, but never forgetting his past or what he and his brothers went through. He considers himself blessed to be where he is now. Over the years, his relationship with his parents had taken a lot of damage for obvious reasons, but as he got older, he would distance himself and his children. He felt he didn't need any type of influence from them on how to be a parent. He could learn how to do that all on his own, and that's
I'm glad one of the sons distanced his children from them. They gave the children back to this mother. I want y'all to understand this mother is to blame too. So don't y'all get that twisted one bit. Because I know society like to always act like the mother was beating them too. They lived with the mother when the father wasn't even there for the beatings and the broken arms and all of the other stuff. So the mother was beating them too. The mother was allowing her father to molest the little boy. And then the dad moved in and he's beating them too. And these children were in this monstrous household. Okay. So don't overlook the fact that the granddad, the mother's dad, was molesting the little boy. I know that could slide under the radar. And then the mother was beating and torturing the children and the dad as well. So they gave the children back to the mother. And the children have to deal with all of that trauma in their mind and in their bodies, because a lot of their bones and stuff were broken and organs and stuff punctured, and seeing the death of their little brother. So the other son had children, and he said it made him not want to protect his children and keep them from harm. And I'm glad he's keeping them away from that mother, their grandmother and grandfather. And I don't know if that other granddad is alive. This stuff is happening today, right now. As I said, I'm a minister and a man of the Most High, and I've heard testimonies from people in my ministry who've told me testimonies of what was done to them by their parents as a child. Some even molested, males molested by dads, by moms, beating, cigarette butts, irons, all type of things from children, from when they were children. And some of those ministry calls are the hardest ministry calls that I have, because I have a compassionate, empathetic heart, period. I'm a good person. And to hear the trauma and the pain, and then have to try to console and bring healing and understanding is one of the hardest things in real ministry. Not these fake pastor pork chops and these fake ministries who just want your money and all that. You know, even on YouTube, you got all these ministries, they just got followers and subscribers, and, you know, they don't even answer nobody in the comments section. More or less, people have actual access to them, actually trying to help people in their lives. Real ministry is about helping people in their lives, their real life, and taking the time. And it's a toil, it's a heavy burden, because to hear the trauma of someone you receive, those spirits, and it's some of the heavy, darkest stuff. That's why real ministry is no joke. A lot of people have suffered things, and some are in silence. And there are things still happening now, and things that are to come. There are probably worse things that's going to be happening as the world gets darker and darker. So the Most High has me calling light onto things. So as I said, as he instructs me to bring out stuff, I'm going to do his will, because that means it's for something, for someone, somewhere, somehow. We won't know the fruit of our labor by doing the will of the Most High and being obedient until later, the judgment, when you see your life played back, and you might see, your Most High willing, I might see the action that I did by being obedient to what he told me to do, seeing it affect someone's life somewhere in the world, who knows when, and I don't know, but I just was obedient to what the Most High spoke me to do. That's what is called being children of the Most High. Hear and do. Help another. Do anything that can bring light to this dark world. Yaqub, the battle axe warrior, said, I can't even imagine breaking my boy's trust like this. I'm literally sitting in between his children right now, his boys, as they sleep, watching this, grateful that the Most High didn't give me this cup, this hurt hearing this story. Absolutely. And that's why the stories need to be told, because the heaviness and such darkness of this story allows some of us who've been through some really traumatic things to even realize and be grateful, at least we didn't have to bear this cup, right? It can put things into a perspective to have you deal with some of the trauma that you're going through now. You know, some of us battling, homelessness, lack of food, resources, different things that we went through in our past, to be like, wow, some even had it worse than me. Yeah, a lot worse. A lot worse. Abu Yah said, praise the Most High that he learned how to approach life in a healthier way. The other brother. That's how sometimes some of our trauma do. I don't like alcohol because I watched my natural born dad. He was becoming alcoholic. So I don't like to drink alcohol to excess. I tried the best to raise all of my children as I still would love to be in their lives, but I'm denied some of them from being in their life, even though I pay for them. But if it was up to me, they would all be here right now. You see that picture? He had access to his children, and look what he chose with his free will to do. But some of us who really want to love and raise our children are denied access. I would love nothing more right now but to tell my babies to come in here one by one and say shalom and hi and peace to all of y'all. And you would see the joy and the smile on their face. You would know that they are loved because you would see just the joy in their face. You would feel the presence. You won't see no dead eyes or no traumatized souls. Shout out to Corey Wilson in the building over on Facebook. Let's continue the end of this story.
He considers himself blessed to be where he is now. Over the years, his relationship with his parents had taken a lot of damage for obvious reasons. But as he got older, he would distance himself and his children. He felt he didn't need any type of influence from them on how to be a parent. He could learn how to do that all on his own. And that's what he did, taking great pride in being a good parent. So, what have we learned after watching today's video? What becomes of the broken? What happens after all of these broken relationships, all the broken hopes, the broken promises? What becomes of the memories of these children who were failed so terribly? Some still lie to themselves. Some tell the world that these children didn't die in vain. There's been change. There have been overhauls left and right. There was no wrongdoing by the system that is supposed to protect these babies.
You see this image on the screen? These are all babies who were abused in their homes to death. And it's just a glimpse of the darkness in this world. So we're called to be the light. There got to be some light in this dark world. Somebody got to speak up for the innocents.
These are all just unfortunate events that couldn't be prevented or couldn't be foreseen. If that's true, then why the veil of secrecy? Why not tell the world of all the good you've done? Why are these agencies so often addressed in a negative light? Adam Mann was a cruel example of a system's absolute failure. Their failure to protect not one, but 4 brothers who needed them to intervene in the worst way. Instead, they watched their baby brother have his life snatched right in front of them, each one of them knowing all too well what it felt like to be in Adam's place. The story of Adam Mann is one that should be known, like many, many others whose stories haven't been told, or have long been forgotten. There's no more mention of these children, no talks of what we can do to stop it. It's almost as if the past never even happened, and it just continues to happen, again and again and again. But for those affected, it never leaves them. It plays a role in every aspect of their lives. They can't forget, even if they tried. And believe me, many definitely have. Many of you are hearing Adam's story for the first time. Others know his story very well. All I know is that these are the stories we can't stop telling. These are the names we can't forget. These are the bodies of work we need to watch to be reminded of these horrors hiding behind these walls. Because if we continue to look past it, if we continue to forget, if we continue to act like the problem is being solved when it isn't, it's only a matter of time before history repeats. And unfortunately, history has already repeated far too many times. It's unacceptable. It's heartbreaking. And it's a crime that this is still happening today. These names are more than headlines in the papers and more than thumbnails in these videos. Adam Mann was just a child who fell victim to people who promised to love and care for him, and a system that was sworn to protect him. He was failed. Some might find it hard to answer who took Adam Mann's life when so many played a role. All I can hope is that his name is never forgotten, that his story is well known, that we start to see zero tolerance when it comes to situations like these. I may not have all the answers, but I'm sure all creators who cover these types of stories and all listeners can agree that we just want this to end. But will you remember Adam after today? There's gotta be a better way. Rest in peace to Adam Mann, and my deepest condolences go out to his siblings and loved ones. You aren't forgotten.
Absolutely. All praises to the Most High. Stop share. R.I.P. the young Adam. Sorry guys. Everyone, I was told by the Most High to share. Shout out to Intentions channel for his great work and commentary. He literally said at the end, for content for creators who share this kind of video. It is to shed the light. We have to keep shedding the light in the darkness and don't let these stories be covered up and forgotten. These children's names and the abused people's names should never be forgotten. Yes, may they not die in vain. Wayat said these children did not die in vain. The Most High allowed us to hear their story and testimony so that we can heal ourselves as well as others. All praise the Most High Yah. May the Most High Yah cover all those children in his love. Facts. All right? We cannot ignore and forget. All right? So, I know it was heavy, and I know it was a lot, but it's for somebody, and it's for everybody. You heard? I'm a man in the Most High, and if he instruct me to shine light on something, then I'm going to do it, no matter what. I don't care about no channel. I don't care about nothing. I care about bringing truth to power and helping someone else. That's what we all called to do. That's what a real man and a real woman are about. Not images, works. So, the thumbnail was the brother said, I'm okay now. I know that they think I'm a monster. I didn't hear no repentance. I didn't hear no asking for forgiveness. I didn't feel none of it. I don't know him. I'm glad the other children were able to grow to adulthood. I know that the trauma, that you can't escape the trauma. One of them have children, and he's raising those children, and he's keeping them away from their grandparents, as I would do if that happened to me. There's trauma that happened to all of us, most of us. If you've lived a trauma-free childhood, then make sure that you understand how blessed you are. But understand there are different levels of trauma. And some very, very dark things are happening to people that y'all can't even imagine. So whenever you feel like, like there's always somebody going through something much worse than you. And this world is getting darker, just so y'all know. Not lighter. Now, the reason why this came to light, thank you, Sister Phyllis Riches, for your super sticker. Thank you, daughter of the Most High. Thank you. I humbly appreciate it. Now, the reason how this came to, the Most High brought this to my attention is because there's something right now, shout out to Q Dog in the building. There's something happening right now in New York City that it involves children, but it's being brushed under the rug. And shout out to Abriya of our ministry. She was the first one to bring it to my attention. And I saw a clip of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing. But this morning, this morning when I was sitting to make the thumbnail, that's why, guys, the thumbnail for this live and the post didn't go out to 6:30 p.m. Because when I was sitting this morning before I went to rest after our investment group and I worked, I was like, okay, I got to make the thumbnail, because I usually make the thumbnail at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever, and then go to rest and wake up and it's all done, the thumbnail and the title. But when I sat here, like, I'm ready to continue my testimony, the part where I left off, I left my ex or whatever. I'm sitting here and my spirit was like, no, right? And I'm like, I can't, I'm like, why am I having a block? Like, I can't think of making a thumbnail. And it's like the spirit said, no, you're not, because you ain't doing that. And I had to sit here like, okay, so what am I doing? And I couldn't I couldn't think of nothing. So then I was like, you know what? Maybe I just got a block. So maybe I'll just go to rest. And when I wake up, I just make a thumbnail before it start or whatever. And then he brought to my attention this event that Abu Yah sent me the video that just happened in New York City. And it involves children, but they keeping that part hush. And I said, oh, okay, you want me to do that? I'm like, okay, that doesn't really fit with the theme of this channel, right? But of course, I don't care about no theme, right? If the Most High want me to do something, I'm going to do it. I don't give a crap about, y'all know me, I don't care about YouTube. I'm doing something. This is a testimony TV. The other one's my ministry channel. And y'all know I'll be like, I don't care if everybody unsubscribe. I'm going to still do it. You understand? But, you know, I understand the, you know, this channel, you know, has a theme or whatever. So I'm like, okay, well, if you want me to do it, then I'm going to just do it, right? So then he's like, no, it's even darker than that. And he's like, there's this story. And I'm like, okay, what? He want me to find something. And so I went to searching, not even knowing what I'm searching for. And bang, I look in and I'm like, it was the brother's video. And I'm like, is this it? And I click play and I start watching. And I said, okay, all right, this is going to be different, right? I'm like, okay. And then after he said, now this ties in to what's happening. So that's why when I got up, I did the thumbnail and stuff at 6:30 p.m. So now, the story that's happening in New York City that had the Most High go search to find this story of Adam to bring out is in New York City, they, right now, they found tunnels in a synagogue in Crown Heights, New York, Brooklyn, on Eastern Parkway. I know a lot of people heard the story. I don't know if y'all noticed, I really don't touch on popular stories after it's already, I don't know, I just, if I'm able to, I can catch it right away, I'll do it. But once it starts spreading, I just leave it alone. That's just how I am. So I was not going to do it. People are, you know, everybody talking about it. So when the Most High was like, I want you to bring out that, I'm like, but that ain't with this channel and everybody already know about it. And he said, no, that's not what I want you to bring out. And then he revealed the children. And I said, oh. But then he said, no, it's deeper than that. So that's when he had me go search, and I found Adam's story. Now, in Brooklyn, right now, the synagogue, they dug a tunnel. They found this tunnel. But they're glossing over the most important fact. Here we go. Let's do this one first. No, let's do this one first. Let's do this one first. So some of these videos wouldn't even let me download it. So we're doing this fair use disclaimer. This is for educational purposes. These videos are not our own. They're live on YouTube. They're from major news channels. And this is fair use for educational purposes. All right. Present. Share screen. I'm going to show you. We're going to bring out something I guess, a different viewpoint. Yeah. So this is the story. Mysterious New York synagogue tunnel sparks a riot. What was found in the tunnels in the shaft? Here we go. "50-foot long tunnel underground was dug. They had a room in this tunnel filled with dirt, a dirt-filled room. Electrical wires hanging in the tunnel. Do y'all see that one? Blood-soaked, but they were children. What's the name? Mattresses. Not adult mattresses. Blood-soaked, allegedly. Fair use for educational purposes. This is what was stated from the news and the eyewitness accounts, that there were blood-soaked children mattresses, and strollers. And they said, from people in the comments and eyewitness accounts, allegedly, there was blood on the strollers, on the arms of the strollers and stuff, in this tunnel. Okay? Now, allegedly. There was a riot after the New York Police Department tried to seal the tunnel. The tunnel led to a secret women's ritual bathhouse that was supposed to be closed. This was the grate, a cover grate that led out to the street in the city in Brooklyn. And this Hasidic man is going to come out of this tunnel on the street. These Hasidics protested and rioted and broke up all the stuff, and 12 of them got arrested. Video revealed the inside of a bizarre tunnel that was built by them underneath a historic Brooklyn synagogue. It says the rebels first gained entry into, and it was supposed to be a woman's mikvah or ritual bath around the corner. But did you see the dude come out of the grate and run? Watch this again. What are the tunnels for? Oh, we're gonna break this down. Give it a second. The passageway is believed to have started in the basement of an empty apartment building behind the synagogue. It was reportedly it was allegedly designed to reach an abandoned woman's mikveh or ritual bath around the corner and exit the building. The viral video showed the police pulling young men from the tunnel, pulling them out of the tunnel as dozens of others shout and clap. It says now listen to this one that most people, another one that they glossed over. This is another one that part of this they glossed over. Of the 12 that arrested, 4 were charged with criminal mischief and reckless endangerment. 2 of them were charged with an attempted hate crime. All right, listen, guys. An attempted hate crime. Hate crime? Against who? You see? Okay, now listen. Hate crime against who? You see these black cops, right? You see how they keeping this so secret? They got a hate crime. So what was the hate crime that they got charged for? What did they say and do? And against who? If y'all know what hate crime entails, it's a racial crime. It's very interesting. They keep that, they just slide that like right on out. Fair use. Look at that. Look at this entrance in this building. Now we're gonna show something else. That's enough of that one. Now let's do this one. All right, share this tab instead. Fair use. This is fair use for educational purposes.
That the tunnel at the center of that bizarre scene at the Chabad World headquarters in Brooklyn measured 60 feet long and 8 feet wide.
Whoa.
Yeah, officials say it wasn't.
All right, now look at this. It measured 50 feet wide, 60 feet long, and 50 feet wide or something, whatever, right? But this is what I want to point out. Crews, now listen, y'all seen the other one where they found, allegedly found blood-soaked crib mattresses. They also found strollers, allegedly with blood on it, and all of this in the tunnels. Okay? They found all these objects and stuff in the tunnels. You'll see they're going to show the tunnels in it. Now, they found mattresses, allegedly, with blood on it. Blood on different things. A lot of different objects. All of this. Now listen clearly. There you go, Yakab. There you go, Yahakana. Y'all already know right from the rip. They are immediately sealing the tunnel. This is an investigation supposed to happen. How are they immediately sealing the tunnel? Immediately. Y'all gonna see in this clip that the police, one of those Hasidics are talking to the police, and the police say, no, because we're sealing this. They want us to seal this tunnel right now, tonight. The city wants them to seal the tunnel right now, tonight. Anybody with any bit of common sense know that that should be illegal. Something should be wrong. That's an investigation has to go. Look at this machinery, concrete pumping. They're about to seal this with cement and seal whatever happened, whatever's going on in there, all the evidence, seal it in. How can that right in everyone's face? Okay? They are sealing it. It's probably done already. It is done already. Because you see, it's right here. Crews use cement to close tunnel. It should be an investigation of what's happening and what's going on in there. Because why are there strollers? Why are there high chairs? Why are there children's mattresses allegedly with blood on them? Why aren't you investigating the tunnels in the rooms and digging in the ground? But they closed it off. Shout out to Yasha in the building. All right, listen.
Properly enforced either. So last night, a cement truck filled the hole at the building on Eastern Parkway. This is in Crown Heights. 9 members of the congregation were arrested earlier this week, accused of causing...
Look at them in the hole of the wall.
Like this scene during the initial effort to plug the tunnel. Now, cops believe the men dug it so they could have 24 access to the synagogue's sanctuary.
Now listen, they rioted when the cops came to seal it. They rioted and tore the whole synagogue up. So listen to this. If this place of worship is supposed to be holy to them, why would they destroy it? Break all the pews and break it. They bust all that because they're sealing the tunnel. So what's more important to them, the tunnel or the sacred, the synagogue? It's supposed to be a sacred building, right? It's supposed to be the house of God. See, these are things that I don't see nobody's discussing and talking about, right? So look at them. They destroying their own thing. This tunnel must be very important. Whatever's going on in there, it got to be more important than them caring about their building.
Cops believe the men dug it so they could have 24 access to the synagogue's sanctuary. The city also issued a vacate order for the neighboring 2-story building because of some fire concerns.
That's so dangerous.
Wow, so dangerous. And my understanding is that they also wanted to create this tunnel to expand sort of their synagogue area, the footprint, as a tribute to their grand rabbi who died 30 years ago. But it was something he always wanted to do, was sort of expand the footprint there. So they dug this tunnel.
So first of all, look at these. I'm sorry. I'm just. Hopefully we are an hour and 43 minutes in, and they just let us rock a little bit. But these serpent seed, boy, these reptilian looking newscasters. I'm like, these people ain't even guys. These people don't even look human no more. Now these people now. I'm like. And so everybody's just moving or making up of any lame excuse. They want to just to expand the footprint of, right? What do you, somebody explain the mattresses and the bloody stuff allegedly in there. What are you talking about, expand the footprint and just reaching? Oh my goodness. All right, now listen.
No, but a lot of people didn't even know about the tunnel for
Even
years.
if it's well-meaning, we have safety concerns over things like that for a reason.
So now hopefully they will solve that issue.
Here's something different.
They will solve what issue? They didn't plug the thing up with cement. All right, watch this one. Watch this one. Now this is the one I want y'all to see. Watch this. Fair use for educational purposes. Look at this. Now, if this place of worship, right, this synagogue is supposed to be holy, Like he said, they cared about their grand rabbi who died and they wanted to spread their footprint. How you tearing up his his place of worship? Do you see how ridiculous this stuff is, guys? That they saying, they want to expand the place of worship. So you tear up the place of worship because they wanna cement the tunnel because it's an illegal tunnel that was built. So that means that this tunnel is more important than this place. See, again, I mean, they don't care if they just feed you anything and people just literally take it. Now watch this. Share this tab. Let me play it and I'm gonna make it full screen. Watch this. Look, they clapping. So chaos erupted in New York when these Hasidics attempted to stop construction. Look, so look, they're clapping. The police are pulling them out of in this. So the manager of this temple called and said they're doing damage to all these walls. They didn't broke this whole. They making this whole tunnel passage thing in this temple. All right, look. Y'all see this? They tearing up the temple, the synagogue. So I'm like, how are you expanding? You're doing this to expand the footprint of the synagogue. You're tearing up the synagogue because they're closing this tunnel. So this ain't alleged. Look, what's happening? Yeah, you see him? Look what they doing. Look. Look. You see? And they're doing all this in the temple, but so what's sacred? Is the tunnel sacred? Like, what's sacred? Because, and then now for us so-called black people, y'all know doggone well, ain't not one of them was shot, ain't not one of them was tased, ain't not one of them was killed. They able to just cause a riot and go to war with the police and nothing happens, right? Now listen, they found some tunnel, right? And they immediately gonna seal the tunnel with cement. Okay? Now, no, this tunnel wasn't old. They dug it. The tunnel was new. They already did the research, Yakanan. This tunnel was dug within the last year. It started in 2022 because some people tried to give an excuse. Well, maybe they dug it during COVID and wanted to be able, but they did it. It's saying they dug it in 2022. Now, just to validate what you said, Yakanan, there are tunnels and sewer systems all through New York City. Okay, traps, tunnels, all through, all the way down into the earth. The subway system, they have tunnels from the prohibition, slavery, all of that. Tunnels that go out, skate stuff that's sealed and everything. Yeah, so I receive what you're saying, Yakana. It probably was an old tunnel there and they just opened it back up. So I agree with you. They probably just, because there's tunnels everywhere. Yeah, not just New York. So sorry, I'm just speaking on New York because that's where it's at. But yeah, there are tunnels everywhere. All right. So like when I did the lesson on the Pilgrim State, remember that the dark psychiatric center, and it was tunneled. They had tunnels coming from out the Pilgrim State out in the thing. Yeah, there's tunnels is everywhere. Yep. So you're right, Yakanan. The tunnels definitely was already there. But what they did, they probably opened the tunnel back up, got through to the tunnel and then made them passageways and whatever. But again, why do they got, this is the part. They got tunnels everywhere. I don't care. Open it. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Open it up, whatever. You want a tunnel, a getaway, to get away. If someone come try to harm you, get a getaway, whatever. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm not a city official or nothing. But why is there allegedly children's mattresses and strollers with allegedly blood on it in these tunnels. That's that part is, and why is the city immediately sealing the tunnel without no investigation of what is? Because those doggone mattresses and strollers and stuff ain't ain't ancient. They ain't from the 20s or the 30s or whatever. But yeah, I agree with you, Hakeem. Those tunnels are probably very old. But then they carved out new rooms and stuff like that. And then they made the grate to come out to the city, on the street and all of that. But yeah, so I agree with you, Young King. All right, now here we go. Now, I don't want y'all, again, I haven't really seen nobody reporting on the fact that they're destroying their own temple over this. So I'm like, what's holy, right? Because there's no way, if this temple is supposed to be holy, that I'm going to destroy and tear up my temple because you want to fill the thing. All right? And you can see the way they're doing it, there's no respect for none of the stuff in the temple. So I'm like, again, just use your eyes and your discernment. The tunnels were recently discovered. Now look at the stuff in it. See, that's what I'm talking about. The stuff, the chairs, right? Clothing. See? Look. Strollers. They allegedly had mattresses. It's not clear yet why the tunnels were built or what. Shouldn't you be investigating that? Why you're sealing the tunnel? Jacob said once they fill the tunnel, you ain't getting nothing out of it. It would be like nothing happened. Yeah, they're just covering it up. So why are you sealing it? Look at that. See, so this is where they dug stuff to go through here. So they dug secret rooms as well. So that's what I said. You can see where they carved through a wall. Yep, Jacob's even the dirt looked like it was freshly dug. Yeah, so Yohanan is correct. Those tunnels are old, and they just bored new paths into it, and whatever they doing in it, you know what I mean, should be investigated. Whatever they were doing in it should be investigated. That part. So look at them in there. So the properties manager called in builders to fix the damage on the walls. Now this is inside of their temple, right? So the properties manager called in builders to fix the damaged walls because they
not gonna help. They try to help.
The group of them gathered to stop an attempt to stop the workers for fixing the walls for the manager. Now listen to the cop explaining to them what they're talking about.
Because there was a guy wanting to go out. There was a guy wanting to go out.
It says no already. I want to clear the whole shoe line.
Oh, shoe? Why?
They want to fix this tonight. They need the shoe cleared.
You heard him? They want to fix this tonight. He said, I want to clear the thing out. He said, why you want to clear? Because they want to fix this tonight. Why is this such an urgent rush for the city to do it tonight? You hear him? He said tonight. So he got orders. That's why all those police is there and all the cement trucks. They got orders. They want to seal this tonight. Before the press come, before everybody come and before it gets released and goes viral, this need to be sealed tonight before somebody can come in and investigate what's in there and what's really going on. What's really going on? You heard that part. Y'all already can use your imagination, but again, we ain't gonna speculate. You know what I mean? I ain't got to do no allegedly, but I know one thing ain't allegedly, that there's a cover-up going. That ain't allegedly. They gonna seal the doggone. Yeah, Kayala. It's crazy how this is right in your face. It's especially when there's children's objects in this tunnel. Oh, come on, bro. Now y'all talking some. Where we at? Where we at? We at Pizzagate? What's going on here? Shalom, Mariyaha, right? So you heard that cop? He said they want this sealed tonight. He got orders. Tonight they sealing this thing. I don't care if y'all riot or not. We sealing this. Y'all already know how high this go, right? Y'all already know this must go way high. This must be some real dark stuff going on here. All right? Jacob said if they didn't do anything wrong, why is it the top priority to fill up the tunnel the same day? The math ain't math, and that's what I'm talking about. Right? He like, tonight, this is getting sealed. Oh my goodness, the cover-up must be something. This got to be huge.
Why you need too expensive something? Not like this. Not safe. We don't do that in America.
So look at the dude coming out the tunnel. The great. All right, so that's that one, and then this is the last one that we're gonna see on this Fulio stuff. Look at this Fulio stuff. All right, so here we go again. What they call it, fair use for educational purposes. These are all news channels, big news channels with 5 million subscriber views and all this stuff. That was one of them, was the Times, the Washington Times and all that. And here go another one. Fair use. Watch this one, guys. Watch this video stuff.
Secret tunnels through the synagogue? A riot broke out in a historic Brooklyn synagogue on Monday when a group of Orthodox men tried to stop police and construction crews from filling in a secret tunnel they allegedly illegally dug to reach a closed-down women's bath, per the New York Post. Members of the Chabad Lubavitch movement have allegedly been digging a tunnel under the Crown Heights synagogue for almost a year, designed to reach an abandoned mikvah, or ritual bath, for women and expand the synagogue. That's according to reporting from Forward. Now, dozens appeared to protest the arrival of a cement truck, which a Chabad spokesperson, Rabbi Moti Seligson, said was there to repair the wall after a, quote, unauthorized passageway had been built connecting the sanctuary to nearby buildings, allegedly including a local children's museum. According to the New York Post, neighbors complained.
That's the part that a lot of them are starting to leave out. The first report was that has something to do with it leading to some children's museum, right? And then some abandoned women's bathhouse that's abandoned or whatever, right? Yes, this is allegedly and for educational purposes. Now, the mattresses, the strollers and stuff, and then it said it's led to a functioning, some sources allegedly said, before they covering up, it led to a children's museum, right? Just the fact that the word anything children is coming up in this, why are y'all sealing the tunnel? That the investigation should be happening. This is crazy. Well, that's how you know we at the end time, that this is happening, and they just can seal the tunnel, and now is nothing happening? Listen.
About suspicious noises leading to the tunnel's discovery. Synagogue leadership ordered the tunnel to be destroyed, but when construction workers showed up, members of the movement made their way into the tunnel to prevent the construction, and a riot began. Here's some of those worshipers interacting with the police.
Now, Now, 12 Hasidic men were arrested on Monday after breaking into the synagogue headquarters and allegedly damaging the synagogue underneath it, according to officials. 9 people are now facing charges.
I think it was the headline from the New York Post that maybe first attracted the story a lot of attention. The headline read, "Extremist Jewish teens secretly hired migrants to dig secret Brooklyn synagogue tunnel Shawshank style." It's a lot going on there.
Look, so this story has obviously attracted a lot of interest, largely because the visuals are just so extraordinary. I mean, any New Yorker is going to balk at the idea of a fully grown human being emerging from a sewer grate, kind of Ninja Turtle style. And I think that imagery, as well as the confrontation with the police and the longer clip that we played, really sparked the imagination and just raised more questions than were answered. Why this tunnel? This tunnel was 60 feet long and 8 feet wide with a ceiling height of 5 feet. Apparently, they've been working on it for at least a year. And I think even now, days into the story, a lot of questions remain about the why of the tunnel, the necessity of the tunnel. Initially, people were saying that it was a COVID era attempt to get around shutdowns. But if it's only been being built for about a year, it's unclear whether there were really any meaningful policies in place that would have precluded people from going wherever they wanted in New York City. And why the protest, why the escalation? I mean, I understand, okay, you shot your shot, you tried to build an illegal tunnel, the city found out about it, came to shut it down, came to fill it in. What was hoped to be gained by a direct confrontation with the police to defend one's, I guess, eminent domain rights to the underground of New York City. And there was also some concern about whether or not the tunnel would imperil the structural integrity of the Chabad house, which apparently is of broader significance to the community.
Right. The synagogue itself wants the tunnel filled in. They own the space. I mean, we got to have law and order. If they want it filled in, they get it that way. You know, I don't have any problem with the tunnel being taken care of, disposed of. I get what I'm gathering is.
So nobody got no problem, no investigation, just fill it in. Forget what's finding in there. Forget what's the possessions that was in there.
Online there was a lot of reaction that was sort of anti-Semitic in nature. A lot of people saying that Jews hiding under the floorboards, trying to get at the children in the museum, trying to get at the women's bath. I saw Andrew Tate, for instance, made a nasty comment about it. That sort of thing, saying that, here are you said there were, I think calling out Ben Shapiro, saying, you said that Hamas is in tunnels. It's actually the Jews in the tunnels, that kind of thing. So that's all very unfortunate. But for the underlying, for the issue itself, I mean, they get to not have. The synagogue doesn't want a tunnel there. You can't build an unauthorized tunnel on their property.
Yeah, I mean, look, there have been long-standing tensions between the Orthodox community in Brooklyn and other residents of Brooklyn for years.
Well, and the government authorities over the schools, right? That was happening in New York City, them saying the Hasidic.
The reason why I showed this clip is because I want to show y'all something. So look at her face. First of all, look at her face. Y'all see that face? Any black person, any black woman, y'all know what this face is right here. Look at that face. I wish I could zoom in and make it bigger. Y'all know exactly what that face is. She started to talk about the stuff that's going on in the community, and he immediately talked over her. He immediately cut her off. And that's what that face is. Watch this again. Because she's about to talk about some stuff that's really happening. Watch.
Threats tunnel on their property.
Yeah, I mean, look, there have been long-standing tensions between the Orthodox community in Brooklyn and other residents of Brooklyn for years.
Well, and the government authorities over the schools, right? That was happening in New York City, them saying the Hasidic educational environments were not up to the city standards. And there was,
Look at her face. He cut her off, and she knew to shut her mouth to keep her job. She know what's happening. She don't like it. Look at her face, boy. If looks could kill, if looks could kill. And he knew to do his job, immediately overtalked her when she was about to bring up some of the issues.
I remember reading and hearing from religious people thinking this was a religious freedom violation, that sort of thing.
You're right. So there was a big issue around bike lanes.
See? So now she just switched. She just immediately, she said, you're right. And she immediately changed. She ain't gonna quit. They be pawns. You know what I mean? They be pawns. They be about that. They be about that bag. So she immediately retracted. You're right. And then she just went on, just changed the subject. Okay? Now, that's what I wanted to show in this clip. The whitewashing of this whole thing. Now I can stop share. Now, so when the Most High told me, like, bring out, what'd I just do? Cancel. Okay, I'm back now. What? I don't know what happened with that. Oh, it's this one. I was trying to find. There we go. This one. So when the Most High told me to bring out the that clip, I'm like, well, that don't tie into, this channel. But then he said, it's not about that. I don't want you to bring it out for that. I want you to bring it out that the underlying thing of this whole thing involves children, allegedly. And that's what's being washed over. And so now, and then the Spirit said, there's more I want you to bring out. And so I started to search, and he brought me out that story of little Adam and the abuse of children, right? You got that, what they call, not Wikipedia, I forgot what they call that thing now. I forgot, not Watergate, it's that other thing with the Pizzagate and stuff. I forgot what that thing is called now. So you got all of that, you got, the Epstein stuff and all that stuff, right? So you understand, like someone said earlier, this stuff going on with adrenochrome and all that type of stuff. And that's why I said at the beginning of this, I said this always goes back to ancient times of sacrificing children, and harming of children, the innocents. The darkness wants the souls of the innocent, and they feed off the fear of it. So there's a huge cover-up going on. And this thing, the fact that they filled that, like Jacob says, 60 times 8 by 5, that's 180 tons of concrete to fill that hole, 90 cubic yards of concrete. And Jacob is a brick mason in our ministry. So that's why he knows the dynamics. Once they gave the diameter, once they gave the dimensions of the tunnel, he knew he can mathematically put together what it's going to take to fill it. Okay, yeah, Wayfair. And they found another one now on, what's the name? On Etsy. I know some of y'all don't know that one. So they found the one on Etsy where they got pictures, got a picture of pizza, right? Going for sold too for $10,000. Another picture of the word pepperoni pizza with written on, like on a piece of paper, it sold for $18,000. Then another image of a little child sold for $23,000, just random. So now they did the Etsy one where they took them down. So this stuff is happening, still happening, and will continue to happen. So this one that they just found out with this synagogue thing is huge. The fact that the city sealed that thing up immediately, this thing is huge. Yeah, the Wayfair one with the furniture with missing people's names on it, yeah, and a file cabinet going for $40,000 and selling and sold and going for it when the file cabinet only costs like $75, $100 for a file cabinet. It's going for $30,000 and selling. So I remember the Wayfair thing because back then that's when I had my eBay store. So I used to drop ship products from Wayfair, and they gave me a hard time selling this chair. See this chair? I had a Pittsburgh Steelers chair that I was promoting because on my investment group, I'm gonna be helping y'all with that too. I sold products on Amazon, eBay, all over the world, right? That'll come out on this 25 to Life when I get there. It's coming up in this story because I had got a job at the hospital. Y'all, that's coming up soon. And I started, and that's what I was doing. And then later I started so it was a chair like this. So it's sports chairs, and sports people can be fanatics, right? So I found out that the Pittsburgh Steelers chair was the best seller. So that was my best. So I was selling Pittsburgh Steelers chairs. It was like black and gold, and it was nice like this. They was selling like 5 a day. And as the people would buy them, I would go on Wayfair. This is drop shipping. I'll teach y'all that on our investment group, how to really do it correctly. And go on Wayfair and then get my rebates, so I get my discount. I was making, so off the chair, once it would sell, I'll probably make like $30, $40 off the chair, right? And the chair was like $275. And I would push it, and then once somebody buy it on me on eBay, I go on Wayfair, grab it, fulfill the order, put it in the customer, ship it off to them. I was killing them chairs. I wake up, I sold 10 more chairs. You know what I mean? Them chairs was going like hotcakes. Dallas Cowboys was all right, but it was the top one was Pittsburgh. So then Wayfair gave me a problem one time. They didn't ship this lady chair. Me and this lady going back and forth because, I'm dealing customer service because it's my business. And we going back and forth. And I'm like, so she was buying the chair as a what's the name gift to her husband. Engagement. I mean, when you, the reunion, marriage reunion, not reunion, whatever, the anniversary, the marriage anniversary for her husband. And the Wayfair people was telling me, it's coming and it's shipping, and then next you know it don't come, and I'm going back and forth with the lady, and she's like, okay, I still want to give him the chair, missed the anniversary. She's like, I still want him to have his chair, and we going back, man, we was going back and forth for like 6 months to finally, I had to refund the lady, and she knew she was okay. She's like, I'm not gonna leave you a bad review because we've been dealing with this for months. You've been trying to get it to me. And then I told her, okay, so what I did was I told her exactly where I'm getting it from, because she's buying it from my store on eBay. So I said, let me tell you, this is exactly where I'm getting it from. I said, I'm getting it from Wayfair, and I gave her the thing, the everything and everything. I said, just see if you can just order it directly from them, because they won't ship it to me. So then I got contact the Wayfair. I'm like, yo, I got this customer. She's like, yeah, well, they not. And I said, y'all just doing it because y'all know in your records how much I'm buying, and y'all know that I'm making money, but y'all making the money. Like, you know what I mean? I'm getting like $30 each off the, I'm only raising the price like $30. It's not like I'm, doubling it. And so I had to shut it down. And a little after that is when Wayfair got exposed for all that. So I had a relationship with Wayfair with my business. So that's why when they got exposed for whatever they was doing, I was like, oh, no wonder dark company, all that darkness. So yeah, guys. So, and those are just the ones that get exposed. Like now Etsy is supposed to be exposed. I have an Etsy store. That's what this is sold on our Etsy store. This shirt, immersed in the Most High Yah, right? For our ministry, we make clothing, right? And y'all know Etsy it's an innocent place where people, but again, these people, the darkness is everywhere. They everywhere. They run YouTube and stuff. They everywhere. You see, they're all in the media trying to cover up this crap. So that's why we are called to be the light, to expose these things that are happening. And our duty is to make sure that we try to protect those who can't help themselves, especially, Yadon said, we going to the Super Bowl this year, especially the children. Now, Daya said, we got to cover our children. It's very dark out here. Facts. Yasha says he's casting the live, but it's not letting him reply, so he apologizes. Oh, it's not letting him reply? That's okay, Yasha. You know how they be messing with us over here. So now let's get back. Now, let's get back to the fullness, the realness of the story that the Most High wanted me to bring out for this 25 to life. The story of young Adam, man, and the torture and the abuse that's happening to children, the darkness that's happening in the people in their lives. There is traumas and things that happen to us and other people. And it shouldn't be pushed under the rug. A lot of people are not healed, and a lot of people hurt, and they continue to hurt other people. So that's why on this channel, I'm also doing true crime stories, as y'all know. Y'all know I did a couple of the true crime stories. So the Most High called me, like, I gotta speak truth and reveal these things and give understanding. There are traumas that happen to children. I'm thankful for the Most High that He allowed but only a certain level of trauma to happen to me. I remember, so Adam's story of him being hungry and going in the refrigerator, sneaking in the refrigerator at night, and then them beating him and his mom beating him and stuff because, he's not potty trained the way she wanted him to, and she stopped him from eating and drinking, so he's starving. I know what that feels like. My dad, my original dad, I have a dad and I know who he is. He just didn't raise me. And his new wife. So when I was little, they would bring me sometime over to their house, right, with my other brothers and sisters to spend a night from my grandmother's house in the projects, Parkside Projects in Hempstead, Strong Island. And my dad lived in like the rich building, like a condo rich. My dad had paper, and his new wife, a beautiful lady, and his kids. So he got his family, and me and my sister like the stepchildren, but my sister's older, so she's gone, so it's just me. So I would be over there, and they would make dinner, and the food was really good because his wife could cook, and it was good. And my grandmother didn't cook like that. Like I didn't grow up in a home where you got good cooked meals and all that. She just cooked whatever, and but I'm thankful for that, right? I'm thankful to have something, because some people, grew up with crackhead parents, and here we go. Some people grew up like Adam Man, right? So again, even though I'm being denied certain things from a child, I'm still thankful to have what I have now. So when I would go over to there, they would have their dinner all at a table, right? My natural born dad, his new wife, and then their kids, my brothers and sisters, my half brothers and sisters. And they would be they eat like that every night, right? And they live in there. I'm in the projects, and they live in this, big fish tanks and rabbits and birds flying. They got the wildlife kingdom in their condo. Like, they living like they rich, you know what I mean? My pops always had, he was a hard worker, and he kept the bag. He was brand new cars, right? So they living like they rich. They got big TVs. Well, this back, so the big TV was a big floor. They got everything. They rich. They living like rich in the hood. This back in the the 80s, okay? And 80s and 70s too, late 70s too. All right, I'm an elder. So I'm over there, and so we would eat like they'd be like dinner time, right? And everybody go to dinner. I'm not from that life. I'm from the project. Like, I don't know. Like, that's the life that we wish we had. Some people have had that, and they sit down and they eat, and it's all this food, right? And I'm like, yo, this food look good, smell good, and it's a lot of it. And I want to eat it all because I don't get to eat like this. You know what I mean? So it's like Thanksgiving, and I'm like, so, but they make my plate, and it's not a lot. You know what I mean? And the food is so good and looks so good and smells so good. I'm starving. So I eat, and I can't get no more. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm kind of shy. Not shy, it's just, I'm quiet little kid, but I guess you could say I'm scared. I guess. Now I'm thinking about it. I guess you could say it's fear, because, I've already asked and they said no, and it wasn't good. So I just eat what I eat, and I just be hungry. So at night, when we go in the room and everybody go to sleep, I'm starving. like hungry, and I'm a child. And I remember I used to get up and I'm little. I'm only like 6 years old, right? And I'm little. And I would get up and I would like creep, and it's dark and it's scary. I'm scared of the dark too, right? But that's how hungry I am. And I remember I would creep, and the floor, when you're trying to creep, and they had wood floors, the floors make noise when you, and you got to try to open the door. And my brothers is asleep in the room, and their room is their sleep. And then my other brothers, my sister's room is over there. And I would creep, and I would get to the refrigerator, and I try to open the door real, and it make that, it got a pop noise. And I would get it in, and I remember I would be little and I'm down there, and you know how they have pans with the thing be covered, the leftovers covered with foil, and I open it up and I'm eating it with my hands and trying to smooth it out, because I'm hungry, I'm starving, I'm a child, I'm hungry, and I'm eating it cold and just with my hands and just trying to eat. And then I try to get something, try to drink something, and scared if I get caught, what's going to happen. And I'm hungry, guys. So I understand when I hear the story about a child and being hungry, that'll make you sneak into the refrigerator at the behest of getting really beat, because we got beatings back then. Not abuse like them, but beat. And just from being hungry. So, because of that memory and that trauma, because that happened more than once, that hunger. And I remember I told my grandmother one time when, she was like, you going over there? And I said, I don't want to go. And then I was scared to tell her, but she yelled at me. She goes, tell me what? And I was like, because I'm hungry. I be hungry. She's like, they feeding you? They feed you? I said, yeah, they eat dinner, but they don't give me enough. And I said, don't say nothing. Like, don't say nothing, because I don't want to get a beating. You know what I mean? So I'm like, don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. But I'm hungry. Like, I don't want to go over there because I'm hungry. Like, they make me go to bed hungry, but my grandmother didn't. So even though my grandmother didn't cook like them, like big meals and stuff, she never like beat me if I was hungry and I went in the refrigerator. Because as I said on the ministry, I remember going in the refrigerator, and when I was little, and she always used to make pork chops. Now I don't eat no swine no more. I stopped at 12 years old. But I remember being in that refrigerator eating cold pork chops or eating something she made cold, and she would catch me. I mean, she called me and said, boy, what are you doing? And she would curse. And she's like, make sure you clean up that mess and wipe your mouth and stop eating up all my stuff. Here, take one, and right? But she wouldn't beat me, and she'd be like, you still hungry? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, here, come on, sit down. Sometimes, even if she might cook and warm it up, you eating this cold? And I'm like, so, but over there it was different, right? I would get beaten. So I remember I told her I didn't want to go. And she didn't, and I was scared to tell her why. I didn't want her to make it worse. You know what I mean? And but that always stayed with me. Being hungry. So fast forward, I'm in my house. It's the story. I'm going back on the 25 to life. Me and my first baby mama. Me and Pam. Sorry, Pam. I'm just telling truth to power. And my daughter, my first two kids, Star and Rashawn. This was the big house that I bought in New York. This is 2000 and probably 2001, because I remember that's when I bought the house. So this is probably 2001, maybe 2002. I came home, and my daughter Star was like crying, and I'm like, she's in the room, like, what's wrong with you? And she was crying, like, come here, girl. what is wrong with you? And she was like, shy. And I'm like, what happened? And she was, no disrespect. It's just, we all went through things. And she was like, Mommy hit me. So I'm like, hit you? But she holding her face. I'm like, hit you where? She hit me in my face. And guys, I don't allow that. I understand the scripture says, spare the rod, spoil the child, right? And I believe in discipline, right? You definitely will get your butt whooped if you mess around with me. You definitely will get your butt whooped. You're not going to get abused, but you definitely will get your butt whooped. But I do not believe in hitting just anywhere. I believe you can hit arms, you can hit legs, and you can hit butt. That's it. And no, don't go all crazy with arms. Legs and butt. That's it. All that neck, hitting somebody, punching, slapping, all up it. Not with me. Don't touch my child. Don't touch my child. If you want me to lose it, that's the way to make me lose it. Don't beat my child. Don't touch my child. Don't slap my child. Don't punch my child. Don't open. That ain't an adult. You don't hit my... If you're going to beat them, you get a little belt, get your hand or something, and you pop them on their arms or their legs or their butt. That's it. And not to abuse. All right? But do not touch their neck, their face, their head, punching them in the head and all. You're going to lose your... that's it. So my baby said she hit her in the face. And I kind of lose it when that happens. So I'm like, hit her in the face. She hit you in your face? Yeah, she smacked me in my face. And I'm like, no, don't you put your hands on my child. Don't hit my child like they're an adult. And my children are not bad. They're not doing, I don't care. Don't do that. I just don't play no parts of that. So I immediately, now at this point, now, this is the funny part. At this point, with me and Pam, I'm kind of scared of her a little bit. And I know, and I'm going to say that because if y'all watch the other channel, watch the video on my channel where I said I bought her a Mercedes and she tried to shoot me. Watch that video and then you'll see what I'm talking about. Right? I'm kind of shook of Pam. Pam crazy, right? And she going to go to the death, right? And I can't stop her. And she go crazy till she pass out. And then they want to call the police. So I'm shook of Pam, honestly, at this point. I don't want no smoke, beef, or nothing. Like, I'm really shook at this point, right? I kind of eggshells a little bit. Now, I don't play no games, but I ain't trying to have no problems, right? So, now, I'm giving you that context because, sorry, my altitude changing. There you go. And they changed my filters in the house, by the way. So we're going to see. They came today and changed the filters. We're going to see. I already know it's not the filters. It's when I get going, when I get into the spirit, my altitude change. And like someone said, flushes my system. So anyway, for those who see me wiping my nose, I don't have, once I stop this, my nose don't never run or nothing. I don't have allergies or nothing. So anyway, so I'm giving the context because at this point, I ain't bringing no smoke to Pam. I ain't bringing no smoke. All right. So, but now you touch my children. There's a switch. Now I don't play no games, but there's a switch. I mean, I said finally, yes. There's a switch, and that switch was hit. When my baby said she smacked my face, I immediately opened her room door. Where's she at? I'm like, where's she at? So I go through, yeah, Pam a badger. Pam is no joke. That's a doggone Tasman. Pam is no joke. Facts. Badger, facts. Ain't stopping to death till she dies. She go to death. I don't want no smoke of that. And then it don't stop. She ain't just, oh my goodness. So I'm like, I done lost my mind, guys. I'm like, where you at? So I'm like, so she was in the kitchen. So I said, you touched my baby? And she turned around and she looked. Now, usually Pam be, it's on and popping. Usually that blank link come over and it's on. Like you might as well call the Marines. It's on and popping. But I guess she saw it was on me this time. Because this almost, I don't think I've ever seen this happen like this again. And I guess whatever Pam saw on me, I never seen her do this. So I said, you touch my effing daughter in my face. And I guess whatever she saw in me, this was her reaction. She was like, and I said, you did. And she was like, it's cause she went and made some food or something. So I said, what? I said, you put your hands, don't you ever smack my baby, don't you ever, but you know I don't play that because I state that. It ain't something that if I'm messing with somebody, or, that's me and her, me and her was together since high school. We only had 2 kids. I didn't have no other children, right? I didn't have all that baby mama crap that I got now, right? So, we know the rules. And with them, we never had to discipline them because my word was enough. They weren't bad anyway. Rashawn was bad, but we never really had to do anything. They only had to touch him one time. And I regretted that. And that's because I'll say that in the 25 to life, right? I didn't like that, how that felt, that I had to actually physically discipline him one time. So you don't even have to touch mine. They were good because the only thing I have to do is raise my voice. Only thing you have to do is say, I'm going to tell your daddy. Yeah, that's how real men parent their children. You don't have to touch them. You build a level of respect, reverence, and that fear that's of the Most High. Not the fear of the darkness where they're scared and worry. The fear of the Most High is reverence, respect, love, and ahavah. But it's a reverence, okay? It's a respect. So, and you build that by letting them know. And that's a tone, just an expression. So the only thing you have to do with mine is say, I'm going to tell your daddy. And they'll straighten up. Yeah, they yeah. So you don't got to touch mine. So there ain't no excuse, especially to be putting your hands in their face. Because if you had to beat them, I'll be like, well, good. If that's me. I'll be like, what happened? What they do to make you have to beat them? And if it's good, well, good. Y'all know better than good, because I instruct the mother to establish respect too. Don't just have it on the father. We both have to raise those children, so the mother has to establish respect as well. Don't just leave it on me. They should respect you too. Don't just have them disrespecting you, and then when I come, they want to act like you. No, establish your respect too. You understand? So they both respect both of us, right? So that's me. I'm like, if she had to beat her butt, well, you shouldn't have did it. And if you got to get your butt beat, you mess around, you get beat again, coming to me, right? I don't play all that. I don't play the tattletale either. So my daughter didn't even try to tattletale. It was just, she was like, her demeanor was different, right? I know my children. So when I came in, I'm like, what's wrong with you? And she like, nothing. She kind of hiding because her face, she had a mark, right? She's kind of hiding. And I'm like, what is wrong? Come in. I went in her room, closed the door. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Because I always check your children, right? Keep eye, you'll know your children, you'll know when something's wrong, right? So I'm like, what's wrong with you? And she didn't want to tell me, you're going to tell me, because I'm thinking something happened to her. What happened to you? And then she said, mommy hit me. I'm like, hit you? For what? Where? And she said, in my face. And she turned and she had a bruise. I'm like, that's it. Blackout, right? So I'm in the kitchen. I'm like, what you in her face for? Don't you, I'm like, I don't play that. Don't you ever. I lost my mind, like lost it. And that's why I said to y'all, at this point, I'm scared of Pam. I'm shook, right? I ain't playing, I'm not no punk. So, but I ain't trying, I don't want no starting, nothing won't be, I don't want no smoke with Pam at all, right? But everything goes out the window. I lost it. Don't you ever put your hands on my, oh my goodness. I lost it so much. I know, because when I play it back in my head, only thing I remember her is looking at me like this. And she ain't never do that. She just she knew this, I better shut my mouth. And I'm glad, praise the Most High, because I don't know what. That's the switch. Touch minds. touch mines, that's the switch. I can't, that's the switch. I can't, no, I don't know now. Maybe I'm built up in the Most High. I'm able to have more control of myself. So anyway, I'm like, don't you touch, why you put your hand? And then she says, Shalom, Ayabayan. So she says, cause I said, why would you put your hands or why did you hit her? And she said, cause I told her something. She went in the refrigerator and got some food. When I told her no, something. And I said, what? And so I said, come here, Star. And she come in there. I said, what happened? She said, Mommy, she cooked, because Pam didn't cook a lot, right? She didn't really know how to, but she learned. Shout out to Pam. She learned. Shout out to those who teach themselves how to cook, right? So she said, Mommy cooked something she made, some type of hamburger helper or something, and it was really good, right? And she said, but I wanted more when we was at dinner, but I was scared to ask Mommy for more because sometimes she'll yell, right? She'll yell at me, right? So, and I know Pam is a good mama, but Pam ain't no joke, right? We all get our little ways, right? So I know her. She's a good mother though, right? So so then we finished dinner, and then later when it was time to go to bed, I was really hungry. So I asked Mommy, could I have something? And she yelled at me and said, no, go to bed. You got to go to school tomorrow. Go to bed. So she said, so I went to bed, but I was really hungry, Daddy. I was really hungry. So I tried to go to sleep, but I couldn't go to sleep. So I got up and I went in the kitchen and I got the food and I warmed it up. And I guess she smelled it. And she came downstairs. She came in the kitchen because we were on the same level in the house. She came in the kitchen and I tried to tell her that I was hungry, and she just yelled at me and she just smacked me across my face. And I ran in the room and she took the food and I turned. You know how the exorcist's head turned? Boy, if the exorcist's head, my head turned. And I can only imagine what she seen, the look on my face. I can't even imagine what Pam seen on my face. I turned, boy, and I said, don't you ever in your effing life touch my kids. Don't you? Oh my goodness. I'm like, because she hungry? Mother effer, I risk my life hustling these drugs all night in these streets where the police can lock me up for life. I bought this doggone $500,000 house. We got this double door refrigerator, these ceramic tiles and all this stuff. I go to Pathmark every night from hustling and shop. Every night I go to Pathmark after I hustle and come home. Because I'm a man. Of course, I don't do shopping like normal people and shop once a week. Every night I make sure this refrigerator's full. Because I will not have my children be hungry, because I know what it feels like to be hungry. Y'all hear me? Shout out to Brooklyn Red, Flatbush in the building. I know what it feels like. And the trauma for me being hungry, and I'm saying it because that's what, in the story of the young Adam, his older brother who suffered that torture, he said in the story, he's making sure his children are not abused. He's breaking the cycle. I know what that feels like. I did the same thing. That's why I always want to raise my children. I want them because I want to give them the things that I didn't have and give them so they don't have these traumatic things. I lost it. I said, I risk my life every night for the police and stick-up kids, and I did my time for all those crimes I did back in the 80s and 90s or whatever. Because this is 2000. This is like 2001. and I did my time for all that. All right. My 25 to life was in 2007. My 15 to life first bid that I bailed out and I beat in Supreme Court was 2006. But the 25 to life was 2007. I did my time for it. All right. For any crimes that I committed. So I was like, I risk my life to do all this so that my children don't have to be hungry. That's why I'm out there risking my life. And you're going to hit my baby because she's hungry? Don't you ever touch my child's face. Like, I lost it. And for the first time, Pam just sat there listening. I guess whatever was over me, I guess Pam ain't want no parts of that smoke. I guess, I'm glad, because I probably would end up in jail, because I lose it with the children. Don't touch mine. And then the trauma for my baby saying she was hungry. And I'm risking my life and all this stuff we got in here. You got all these, you got the Mercedes out there. You got fur coats and gold and diamonds and leathers. And we got Italian lacquer. This when I was a millionaire guy. I mean, this when I was on my way back then. Because that's when we first started the barbershop and stuff. I was on my way. Like we was $500,000 house. The one on Belmont Parkway in the nice neighborhood, rich. The air is different. I told y'all in the story, the doggone birds are red bluebirds and canary birds. And the people got rose garden bushes in my backyard. So when you open the backyard, you smell roses come through. Roses. Like, I'm from the projects, bro. We got crows and pit bulls and stuff and roaches and stuff, right? I don't come from this... no pollution. The sky is different over the suburbs. The sky is different over nice neighborhoods. They got different air because they got trees and oxygen and stuff, and the birds all come and they tweaking the bird. Like, I'm trying to give my children a life I didn't have, and you're gonna hit my baby because she's hungry when this is what I'm risking my life for? Go get your brother. Go get your brother. We good. If y'all ever hungry, ever, and y'all scared to wake your mama up, because I know how she can get. I know how, we all humans. Sometimes we get in our ways, you know what I mean? Don't mess around, catch her on a period, right? You mess around, catch one, right? Now she a good mama though. This a good mama. All right, this a good woman. All right. Now, just not made for me. We just didn't get along. Now, because I'm not defiling her name. Now, I said, for both of them, if you ever hungry, I don't care what it is, you get your butt up, you go in that refrigerator, and you don't turn on no stove, don't turn on nothing, y'all mess around and burn something, don't do that. I used to have to eat it cold because it happened to me when I was little. And I would sneak in the refrigerator and I was scared to death to get caught because I knew they was going to beat me. And I would be scared to death. And I don't ever want that for my children. I do what I do. They knew what I did. I go out here all night and risk my life so that y'all don't have to go through what I went through. And y'all make sure. And yeah, my little son, my Sean, little bad self, I used to have these Ensures. Y'all know Ensures in the can that the old people drink? Vanilla and strawberry Ensures, because I had one of my customers worked in the hospital, was a hurt, and they would get the Ensures. So, when they ain't got no money, I'm like, here, they got cases of Ensures. So I'll have cases of Ensures. And I would use that to supplement me when I'm working out because I'm out hustling. And Rashawn used to drink all my Ensures. And I'm like, boy, if you don't stop drinking all my Ensures, look, y'all, that's how I used to drink my dad's. And this is the funny part. So this boy, I knew I had Ensure. Like sometimes I put 3 in the refrigerator. I'm like, why owns only one of these? I'm like, so one time finally I said, Star, as I had told him before, I called him one time. I said, boy, stop drinking all my Ensures. I know you're drinking too many, right? I'm like, you can have one, I don't care. But stop drinking my Ensures, boy. Y'all got enough food. You don't need to be drinking my Ensures. So later, it going on, and I'm like, these Ensures, I know this dude is like, so I'm like, I said, Star, is Rashawn still drinking my Ensures? She said, yep, daddy. He like, I know you told him stop. She said, he drink your insurance all the time. She said, I try to tell him, and you know what he say? I don't care. Tell dad catch me when he catch me. Because I'm sure I'm gangster, right? You know, he got that gene of me in him, worse than me, right? He more gangster than I was, right? So he like, what, tell dad to get, he basically like tell dad to get it in blood, right? He catch me when he catch me. So I said, this fool, I told this fool stop drinking all my insurance, right? Because I went and I think it was none, right? Only I had to keep them cold because I like them nice and cold, right? And there's just hot ones in the case, right? So I said, I go upstairs, right? So I'm like, I go upstairs. Now he got the upstairs. He got the whole upstairs, like an apartment up there, right? So I go upstairs. And I'm like, boy, he on the bed talking to some girl or something. I said, boy, didn't I tell you to stop drinking my insurance? He like, oh, come on, dad, man. Come on, dad. You know what? I'm like, no, come on, dad, nothing, bro. I told you stop drinking my insurance. Like, stop, you drinking too many of them, bro. You drinking my ones that's cold in the refrigerator. He like, man, you got that, you know, basically this is back in 2000 when it was early. He like, you got that bag, dad. You can buy more. I'm like, you know, he didn't say bag back then, but I'm like, boy, I told you stop drinking my insurance. Yeah, they like milkshakes. Come on, Brooklyn. Y'all know what I'm talking about. So y'all say insurance and soda bar. For those who don't know, y'all you really only have it if you got elders that drink it or some people that work in hospital stuff. But if y'all ever experienced it, y'all would know that they like milkshakes and they come in strawberry, chocolate, the vanilla, all the insurance on the bomb, right? No, it's not a juice. It's like it's called Ensure, Ensure. You can Google it, and they're like aid drinks for older people. It's like a nutritional shake. So it's like a nutritional drink. And yeah, because drug addicts start stealing them and sell them. That's why I got that's what I said. So I got cases. Because in the hood, you know, I was a hustler. So no, it's no, it's not a steroid. It's a meal replacement. That's what it is. Yes, and it's milk-based, a meal replacement. So it got all of the nutrients and stuff in the it probably got maybe some steroid stuff in it. Like Larry, I told me it's a steroid. It's not a steroid. So it's like a protein shake. That's exactly what it's a protein shake type of thing. But it's the best. And I worked in a hospital. So for people that suffer when you go through malnourished or any condition, they'll put you on the insurance to supplement your diet. It gives you it gives you, I know, Larry, y'all cannot laugh, and y'all crazy, but the most is steroid. Yeah, if you got cancer or anything, yeah, surgery, anything, they give it to you to supplement your diet. So they're the bomb. I love it. I just can't. They're expensive, so I can't afford it. Now, if I could, I would have them. Well, now I don't drink nothing milk based, so I couldn't do it now anyway. But if I wasn't not eating I don't eat from animals no more. If I was still eating milk products and I could afford it, I would definitely have some insurance always in my they very expensive. Y'all said those be hitting facts. So anyway, so I'm upstairs with this boy and he told me, come on, dad, you got that bag. I said, I ain't talking about me buying them. I said, I'm talking about you keep drinking them all up, bro. And then when it got out, I don't know when the person gonna have no more because I'm getting it from, you know what I mean? They know, my kids knew I hustled because I always kept things real because like I said, I didn't know if I was gonna get locked up for life or get killed in the streets. So I never hid nothing from them, you know what I mean? But I provided a life where they don't have to do it. And they did it. They didn't. They didn't do it. That's what I mean. They didn't do it. I got the New York accent. So, and we talk kind of fast. So, So I'm like, it ain't that, because once they don't have them no more, then I'm dead and I need them because I'm always out all night hustling and I don't get to eat because Pam don't cook that much. You know what I mean? So I'm like, that was my food. I drink Ensures and, you know, that supplement me, you know what I mean? Till I do get something to eat, right? So he like, man, I don't even be drinking that much, right? I said, yes, you do. I could tell because I know when my thing is going down. So then Star said, yes, he do, Dad. I said, Star, you do? She said, sorry, Rashawn. She said, look under his bed, Dad. So I'm like, look under his bed. He like, Star, man, I hate you, dude. You a snitch. You always snitch. She said, I don't care. That's my daddy. That's because Star is baby girl. That's my right? She like Shemaya. My daughters are daddy's girls, right? Because I'm a good dad. Right? The boys are supposed to be mama's boys, and the girls are supposed to be daddy's girls. That's because the dad got the masculinity and the testosterone that the woman doesn't have. And the woman has the estrogen and the femininity that the man doesn't have. That's why it's like that. That's the natural balance. But you need both, right? You need both to, right? So all of my daughters are daddy's girls, like daddy's girls. Clean, they daddy. Everything is about their dad. They don't give a crap. They're their daddy's child, right? They love their daddy, right? And so Star's like, I don't care. That's my daddy. Like, I'm telling, right? So she said, look under the bed, Dad. So I said, what? He's like, oh, come on, man. I said, get up, get your butt out, get up. So I'm like, get up, get out the bed. I go bend down his bed, and I take my hand, and all I hear is gling, 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 gling. I said, what? So I pull his thing back. I look, it is Ensure cans. Like his bed, he got a bunk bed, a wooden bunk bed that I bought them when we lived in an apartment building, right? So now we got this new house. I bought my baby girl. She got this whole pretty white and pink with lights, bedroom set with neon lights and all that stuff. And he wanted the bunk bed. It's a wooden, expensive wooden bunk bed because he liked the top and he wanted his boys to come over. So I'm like, all right. So it's high. Under the thing, it's cans. I swear to you, it is cans from the floor to the top, all the way back to, it's like, I swear it gotta be like 175 to 200 empty Ensure cans under this full bed. All years, I look under there, I said, oh my goodness, boy, how many, boy, you, because he a Viking. Rashawn is a Viking. He type, if you don't make him clean up, he ain't gonna clean up. He'll be walking around in Ensure. He would have Ensure cans he'd be walking, stepping on Ensure cans if you don't make him clean up. He ain't like me. I'm a clean. Like I clean. He don't clean nothing. We gotta make him clean. Clean your bathroom because he got his own like apartment up there. This boy had Ensure cans, Brooklyn Red. I swear it was like 250 Ensure cans empty under this bed, just a whole bottle. I said, good boy, clean that stuff. Clean this Ensure can. This boy, you got 9,000 Ensure cans under this bed. Little brat boy, clean that stuff up. Get up now, clean it. Move that bed out and get every can out of it and then vacuum this whole thing. Matter of fact, let me go in this bathroom. Now it's on. I go in this bathroom like, I smell a hint of piss. Get that bleach thing, clean up. I told you start cleaning because I ain't been upstairs in a long time. You know what I mean? Because I'm working, I'm hustling. I'm hustling and, doing all this stuff. I ain't been upstairs in a long time. I'm like, nah, so, I smell piss. Because, boys, we peeing on, he a whole Viking. Rashawn is definitely a Viking. And he lived that Viking life. He don't care. Wait till I get to the 25 to life stories of him. Oh, y'all gonna have because I gotta go back. Y'all gonna love his stories because he is a trip. That boy is beast mode, straight Viking. They could just live he can live, and he did. I don't want to give stuff away, but I don't want to give the stories away yet. Wait till y'all find out how much of a Viking this boy is. So I go in the bathroom, I'm smelling piss. I say, get the bleach thing, Now I go open his shower door because he had a glass shower because this is a $500,000 house. I'm doing it, right? So I'm from the projects. I ain't never living like that. I bought my first house. I own a house, right? So I done made it. Like, I'm on my way. But the Most High said, yeah, you on your way, all right? You on your way to start being a minister, if right? So anyway, so I move his glass things back and I look at the shower like, oh my goodness, because you got the shower head. I tell them after you take your shower, I always buy a shower head, right? The ones that you pull off, water pick or whatever, right? Because after you take a shower, you should spray the walls to get the soap and stuff. Spray the walls, spray everything, spray the floor. That's how you keep your shower clean. So the soap from you washing up be splattering on the walls and everything. So every time you finish your shower, and plus you take that head and you take I'm teaching y'all how to wash yourself. I'm an elder, listen clearly. You take the shower head and after you wash your butt, you just get some little, take the shower head. Don't put the shower head in your butt. I ain't talking about no nasty stuff. I'm talking about you take so the water can go into your little crack and wash where you wash your butt, rinse it all off. You take the shower head, you rinse under your little nut sack, guys, right? You take it and you clean yourself with the shower head. I put the shower head, I wash my legs. I'm clean. I clean everything. Clean yourself, okay? Clean in between your booty crack too. Don't put, all right? So, and then you, after you finish, you take the shower head, you rinse off the glass thing. And even if you don't got glass, if you got a shower curtain, right? The plastic ones, because if you don't, then you get the mold on the shower, you get soap scum on it, it builds up. So you take it, you open the shower curtain, you take it and you go like this across the shower curtain with the shower head. And I go all the way down and it rinses all the soap scum off so everything stays clean. Yeah, hygiene 101 with Uncle Yahya, Uncle Yahshua. Facts. And that's, as long as you do it, and then you spray each wall and get the corners, and then I also spray the shower, the chrome part, because if you don't, it'll build up soap stuff, and next you know everything is, so you just clean it every time. That's why the first thing I do when I get apartment stuff, I make sure if I don't got my from my old house, I'll go buy one. A shower head, retractable. Clean the doggone tub, clean it. And every time you won't have to go back and be scrubbing and stuff because you clean it every time you take a shower. That's what it's for. So I'm like, boy, get in here. Because he ain't going to do it. You know, they don't listen. He ain't going to do it. So now he got a mess going on in this expensive shower. Now you just got yourself some work, boy. And he know I don't play once it's on. When I come back up here, and he'll do it because, you know, I'm his dad. He going to. I come back, it better be smelling like nice and bleachy and nice, because I need bleach going on in here because, you know, ain't no cleaner now because you didn't let it get, you know, you Viking. You didn't let it get out of control. You know what I mean? I need bleach going on in here. I need to smell some bleach when I come back up in here. Come back up, everything is clean all this up. Open up his closet. I'm like, oh my goodness, hang all this stuff up because they got a lot of clothes and stuff, all his sneakers. Arrange these sneakers. Stop throwing them in there. It's cleanup day. Spring cleaning. Get every inshore can out of here and stay out of my inshore. And guess what? He ain't never stay out of my inshore. That's right, Sean. He ain't never stay out of my insurance. I never got that to stop. I ain't never stopped. He don't care. Rashawn like, well, you gonna have to beat me. Rashawn probably like, I ensure that you're gonna have to beat the brakes off me to stop with these insurers. I ensure I'm gonna eat these insurers. You can be insured of that. I'm gonna keep drinking these insurers. You keep bringing them in here. I'm gonna keep popping these cans. y'all know them cans? Them insurance is popping. All right. So I'm glad I kind of got to end this with some laughter because the story at the beginning was very dark and very heavy. Now I'm hot. See, that's how you know I'm in the spirit. I was freezing before. I put the heater in here and everything. Now I'm sweating. That's because I'm in the spirit telling that story. So tonight was a different 25 to life because the Most High, Kayana said, don't mix bleach directly with urine because you can make a toxic gas. That's hilarious. Well, that's sure enough what we do because men be spraying. Men be spraying. You get overspray on the thing. You got to start cleaning the floor. Men, you got to clean the floor in between the toilet and on the sides. At least try to do it once a month at least, man. You got to because it's building. Your little overspray, it'll build up. And you know, because y'all be ignoring it. You end up sitting down to use the bathroom, and all of a sudden you smell a little hint of piss somewhere. You think that's because it's all over the floor. And then people walk around with no shoes on, just for the sisters to know. Sisters, you sharing your husband. Oh, you should be your husband, but you know, we in the world, we on 25 to life. Some of them got boyfriends and stuff. But your husband or your boyfriend, sisters, just know when you walk up to that toilet with your no shoes on, that if you ain't continually spraying the floor around the toilet and the sides, if you ain't continually getting, I'm talking about spray, and then get paper towels or something and wipe to its clean, you are definitely walking on piss. I just want y'all to know that because that's why I got slippers in my bathroom. Oh, I'm not a germaphobe or nothing, but I'm very, very clean. So I know the idea. I'm not about to be walking over there barefoot over there when I know that, you know, Like, so I tried to clean it at least when I can remember once a week or something, hit the floor. Now I make sure I clean the toilet. I'm one of them dudes, you lift the toilet, ain't gonna be no black, men are nasty, ain't gonna be no piss rings around the toilet, all that nasty stuff. But to hit the floor in front of the toilet, sometimes you forget. Like it could go a week or two, you know what I mean? So like now I'm thinking about it, I ain't hit it in a while. I need to hit that floor in front of the sink. I'm probably do it tonight. I mean in front of the toilet. And I keep a spray. So I keep a bleach spray. That's the bleach one, the mix with bleach, the Clorox one that not, and then I keep a one that has no toxins, because the bleach, you don't want to be touching that every day and it'll poison you. So, but I need to hit the, and it's funny, Paul Kayana said you mix it with urine, you're going to get toxic. Well, it'd be toxic going down, because I'm sure enough hitting that floor. Y'all said I just did that today. Especially you got little kids, doggone well, once you start with little Yana, his they aim ain't always on all the time and all that. And especially when he get piped to the point where he going by himself, you definitely need to go behind him. And y'all should too, just us men. It just is what it is, a byproduct. Plus, guys, when we pee into the thing, because we don't sit down, the pee hit the water and it bounces back out. Just so you know, that's why I said you got to get the sides around the toilet too, and the walls. Yep, yeah, right. The pee splashes out of the toilet, guys. It literally does out, and it splashes back onto the wall and onto you. Just if you could see it through what's the name? I remember they had that show that they were showing. And let me give you this one. This for everybody, especially you youngsters. This one is a good one. This one, I don't play no games. The most ridiculous thing you can ever do, listen, sisters and brothers, is flush the toilet without closing the lid first. Now listen clearly. If you don't, you know how you flush the toilet and the lid is up, the toilet, everything that was in the toilet, when you flush it, is going out first before it spins and goes down. Listen, this was on a show. You know how they have those shows, Mythbusters and stuff like that? This was on a show. So they showed through what they call those infrared things. And they showed the people flush the toilet. The amount of feces and urine that splashes, it literally splashes I think they said it's like 5 feet away or something. Like they showed it in 3D slow motion. Yeah, poo and piss everywhere. Every time you flush the toilet, that's why they have a toilet seat. Let me explain something to you. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Praise God. You got to teach. Listen, the toilet seat, the reason why it's a top to close it is so that it can seal when you flush the toilet. Everything, the toilet seat stops all the urine and feces from coming out. So you youngsters, you women, you men, yep, Laura says 5 feet that is straight. If you ever flush that toilet without closing it, I never do it, because once I seen that, I can't unsee it. That's me. I'm a man of truth. When I see something, I know it. I don't just act like I didn't see it and later on or do it for a couple of days. No, I do it forever because I can't unsee it. Yes, I even close my eyes and mouth. See, that's the people who know clean. Now, what I do after I finish peeing, right, or pooping or whatever, I get up, I do everything, I close the toilet seat, then I flush the toilet. Because it ain't going to. So listen, sisters and brothers, every time. I bet you it's on YouTube. I bet you, because it was on TV. I bet you y'all can just Google something. I don't know what you would call it. Google if I flush a video of flushing the toilet and stuff splattering everywhere. I bet you it's on there. I want it too, because I need to show it one day. So y'all, somebody in Mashiach Assembly, find the video for me. I know it's on there. Find it. And they showed it in slow-mo too. Listen, they showed it. You know how they do it, where they do it, everything in slow motion and in infrared. And they showed all the stuff just splattering everywhere. Maria said, yes, it was also one time with this doctor on Oprah. Oh, close the toilet seat. Okay? And for my brothers, every time we piss, the pee hit the water and stuff splashes out. So you have to, as Avaya said, you have to clean your walls around it every now and then. But guys, hit that front of that toilet because we drip. Let me explain something to you. Listen, sisters, it ain't that the men, we drip. Okay? We drip. All right? Now, when we drip, and we might not know we drip. We not know we drip, especially, you're in the morning and you're tired, you got up to take your piss, or you woke up from the bed and you do whatever, you could close it, you dripped. So you got to every now and then clean the front of the toilet. Now there's another one, sisters, I want to point out to you. We can close out with this. This one's going to be funny. There's this thing that happens to men. All right. Now this is for married men that you should be married. I'm not promoting nobody to be having sex without marriage, right? Now, this is a man thing. Y'all listen clearly. Men, you're supposed to be married before you having sex. But if you're not, we're on 25 life, so a lot of people are not. You got girlfriends, whatever. Now, this is also for if you're in a relationship where you should be, if you're having sex with somebody, you should be wearing a condom. But I know in the world, everybody don't. So I'm talking to the people who are having sexually active. I'm not promoting it or nothing. I'm just teaching something. The people who are sexually active, right? And you with a girl or whatever, and you ain't wearing a condom. Let's say you're in a relationship, and I don't know, she may be on birth control, or you might be playing the pull-out game, whatever it is. Okay, whatever. All right. Now, this is real stuff. Y'all listen, guys, and listen, sisters, because I've recently seen this on some episode or something, and I didn't realize people don't know this is a real thing. I'm like, I thought everybody knew that was a thing. Now, when you're in a relationship or something, and I'm not condoning it, you smashing something, and you come into fruition, the man. When a man ejaculates, this happens a lot. There could be a time where, and it doesn't happen every time, where after you guys finish the act, the man could wash up, wipe himself or something, right? And then y'all go back to chilling out, right? You go watching TV or something or whatever, right? What happens is, and then you can go to sleep, right? Now it happens a lot when you go to sleep, but sometimes it can happen if you just stay up for a while and then you go. What happens is, sometime, guys, after you finish, there's a little more semen that drips, right? That comes out the man's hole, right? After y'all finished and everything. And let's say a man goes to sleep, right? I know men they probably know already what I'm about to say. So women, listen clearly. And a man, let's say the man goes to sleep. So I hate this part when this happens. So then he wakes up and you got to go to the bathroom. So the man goes to the bathroom, he pulls his wee-wee out, and he starts to piss. He wants to pee. He starts to urinate. But what he don't know is there was a little bit of, Mario said, I'm already cracking up. You already know. There's a little bit of semen that had dripped out, but while you was chilling, relaxing, and went to sleep or whatever, and now it dried up. And guys, it dries up over our pee hole. Listen, sisters. So you have a little bit of dried up semen that then glued itself over our pee hole. So when we go to pee, we don't know that the hole is blocked. Oh my goodness, this is for real, guys. Listen clear. Oh, it's many of accidents that sisters y'all don't know that the man then cleaned up. That's why I hate these, because it's a hot mess to clean up, right? Listen, guys, ain't it a hot mess? Now listen. So when the man, guys, when we go to pee, now we gotta pee, and when a man pees, it's rushing to come through his penis, right? It's a flow of water that's coming. It's like a fire hose. But what we don't know, there's a little bit of dried up semen stopping the hole. Listen clearly. So now what? Yohanan already know. Oh, it can go in 5 directions too, Yohanan. So listen, guys. You know what happens, guys, is we go to pee, and then we don't know until it happens. Then all of a sudden it go like pee will go. You have a stream that'll shoot this way and a stream that'll shoot this way, and then as you're trying to you're trying to stop it. The pressure from the P1 to come out busts another hole in the dry of cement. Now you got a stream coming this. You got 4 or 5 streams, and it's going to the walls, to the toilet seat, to the floor. It's just I wish I could show y'all. It's like trying to stop a water hose or something, and with it, and then it's gonna, any space that it got, it's gonna shoot out. So and we can't stop it because we can't stop our pee. Yes, and it stings. It hurts too. It can hurt too. Now, depending on how thick the dried up stuff is, it will just, and it's like, so now we gotta, I know guys, like a whole water hose with holes in it. Facts. I know every guy did this. Now, guys, y'all know when you gotta because it's a mess, right? And we gotta clean it up, right? And we ain't about to tell anybody. That's why I say I know every guy that went through this. You are not about to tell people that, right? Guys, when you got to try to squeeze your man, right? To try to stop. But you trying to squeeze the man, and then you got to take your finger and try to get the stuff off the holes just so, because it won't stop. It's a mess. If somebody could ever film that would be the funniest thing you ever seen in your life, right? And then you finally grew, and then it finally goes into the toilet, right? So now you're like, oh my goodness. But now you got pee is everywhere. Y'all hear me? Piss is I'm talking about all over the walls, the side of the toilet, it's all over you. It's just, and then you finally finish, and now you like, oh, don't y'all hate that, guys? I hate that part. You like, oh man, now I got to clean, especially if you just got up to wake up to try to take a piss when from sleep, right? It's like, it's horrible, bro. It's horrible. y'all said Batman couldn't get this information out of me. All right. So then, guys, now we got to clean up this, and it's everywhere. Okay. I mean, when those happen, that's the worst thing, because now I got to move the plunger. I got to move everything from the side. It's on the walls. It's gonna be a half an hour, right? I'm like, oh. Now I got to clean the walls, the floor, because if you don't, it's gonna all smell like piss. It's piss everywhere. That is the biggest nightmare in the world. A little note to you sisters. That's a real thing. Now they did this on this skit on, I think it was a Country Wayne or something. And when the brother was telling about it, the sister, and in the comments, I realized sisters didn't know this was a thing. So the sister on the show said, he lying. He didn't. And I said, so the writers knew to put that in there, but I said, hold up. Sisters don't know. So I went in the comments, and sisters didn't know. Some did. Sisters didn't, and the brothers was in there like, oh yeah, they got names for it, the spray or whatever they call it. Yes, guys, this is Larry, I said no peeing inside. Yes, this is for real. Now, this only happens, guys, to us is when we had sex, and after we finished for a while, something dripped out, and we either went to sleep or we stayed in bed long enough before we peed till it dried up. It's like a dry up scab covering over it, and then sometimes it don't be as strong. And soon as the water pressure, the pee pressure hit it, it'll splatter out, but then it'll push the scab off. Those ain't as bad because you only got to clean up the first thing that's sprayed out, but it's still spray. But then you got those ones that be on there thick, and that's what I'm talking about. It be just spraying. It's a nightmare. You're like, oh no, you're trying to squeeze it and trying to get it. Oh my goodness, sorry. So anyway, yes, this study took a different turn. It took a life lesson turn. Yes, but you need, oh no, Laurie, you need more than baby wipes for that. But baby wipe, okay, you just start some stuff. Everybody, you need baby wipes to wipe your booty, dudes, guys, sisters too. All right, sisters. Baby wipes are right now by my bath at all times. Okay, when I have to go to use the bathroom, there's baby wipes and toilet paper that go. The baby wipes is so if I have to do number 2, I baby wipe my booty till there's no more duty in the booty. Sorry, facts. So my booty is squeaky clean every time I do number 2. Baby wipes, mandatory. Listen, brothers, baby wipes are mandatory. If you don't, you're gonna have duty shoots, duty streaks in your booty is gonna smell unless now I had some of my exes, females, that would wash every time they do number 2. They would get and wash their booty in the shower every time, right? I ain't got time to be washing my booty in the shower every time, so I got baby wipes. Baby wipes, baby men. I don't care. I'm a big tough man. Baby wipes. A woman, they will appreciate it. You'll never stink. No, the wet tissue paper is not helping. Well, that's better than nothing. But the reason why the wet tissue paper ain't helping because the baby wipes clean it. It has cleaner, so it smells, and then it smells. So so listen, the wet tissue, only thing that's doing is it's going to clean it better than dry tissue. I agree with that. But there's nothing to clean the smell. So there's the baby wipes is a cleaner in it. Remember, what do you clean babies with when they poop everywhere? Right? We don't, listen clearly, we don't clean a baby. I don't change a baby's diaper and hold their legs up with the poop and use wet tissue and that's it. Because her butt, they butt and coochie, they're going to stink. So we use baby wipes. So you know baby wipes work because if it could work on children's duty, it is sure enough. But yes, he said dingleberry's going to stink. Yeah, and it's going to stink. Facts with the wet tissue. But if that's all you got, that's better than nothing. That's better than just dry wiping. But baby wipes at all times. Now, if I'm ever out of baby wipes, that's not a good thing, right? Then I got to deal with it until I can get me some baby wipes or go wash in the shower if I got time. But I'm never out of it. That's one thing you know how you don't want to be out of toilet tissue? I don't want to be out of baby wipes or toilet tissue. I'm saying it because now sisters, don't get it twisted. Sisters, I'm talking to the dudes because we can be a little rough. Sisters, baby wipes. This the 25 to life, so I can. Hey, guys, y'all know ain't nothing worse in the world than again, I'm not promoting this, but in the back, y'all know what I'm talking about. We've all done that before. For those who don't do it anymore, you hitting it from the back, and what are you smelling out the crack? Duty, because she ain't using baby wipes. You understand? You do not. That's the worst. I done been there. I know every dude done been there. And what we do, hold our breath, right? Y'all already know. We holding our breath, right? Because men are nasty. We just gonna do it no matter what. Men are disgusting. We like, right? We ain't stopping. Yeah, booty juice, stuff be in the bed. You don't want that. That's because they're not using wipes. Baby wipes, guys. That should be a part of your grocery bill. You need to never not have baby wipes in your bathroom. Never, ever, 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 ever. Never, ever, ever, ever. Right? And I don't poop outside of my home. Right? If I had to as an emergency or something, then whatever. I'll go home and clean up. Right? Clean myself. But baby wipes at all times. Okay? Guys, you will smell. Sisters will enjoy it. Guys, you can also use it on your, guys, we play sports or you start sweating down there. Oh, baby wipes. I do it. So perfect example, I'll be teaching, sitting here for 5-6 hours or something, right? And I'm like, man, I don't want to take a shower. I'm too tired because I clean, I clean myself every day. And what I do, baby wipes. And you'll be surprised. Man, go and use it. You see some brown stuff on the baby wipe. You see dirt because you sweating. Y'all know we get sweaty. The men be having basketball balls. That's what sports balls. You want to go home trying to mess with your wife. You're supposed to be your wife, all right? You trying to mess around. You got stinky sports balls. Clean it. The baby wipe will clean it. If we use baby wipes on babies and they pissing and pooping down there, it's going to clean us. Just think about it. It's common sense. Baby wipes are everything. And they got scents. I like the cucumber and cucumber and melon scent. And now they got this other one that my roommate bought. It smells really good. I'm like, ooh, have you smelling good? Clean yourself. Clean yourself, guys. And you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. Now, there's been a time, this happened to me. There's been a time back when I was in the world that, I don't know, it's all going down, everything going, you pull your pants down, right? Pull my pants down like, ooh, not from my butt, it's from my balls. I smell sweaty basketball balls or something, sports juice or something, right? Not because I always use wipes on my butt, right? You smell, I'm like, you know how you try to ignore it? I'm like, oh, crap. You know what I mean? I'm trying to hurry up and get into bed so they don't smell it, right? And they don't let them want to go down. Okay, this in the world. They want to go, oh, boy. You don't want to put your mouth, you don't want to put your nose down there. Not right now. It's a little salty down there right now. All right? So I'm just real talk. So baby wipes, clean yourself. Okay? Keep yourself clean. You ain't got to worry. You know how our parents used to tell us, always keep clean underwear, so in case you get in a car accident, that's that thing. Always wipe yourself. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to get caught out there. Okay? All right. So I guess this has been, what do you call it? Healthy Hebrew episode of Uncle Yeshua 25 Life Testimony TV. So, y'all said eat a lemon. All right. Yes, Kayana said they should play this video in school health class. Yeah, they don't teach that. They don't teach people how to take care of themselves, clean yourself. And that's why when I was in the world and stuff, the girls love me. Like, I smell good. Like, no matter what, you always smell good. That make them, no, I don't want to give y'all no ideas, right? But they love that. Women love that. And men, we love it too, women, when you smell good. Because you got them women women with baby wipes. Girls got these big old butts, especially your sisters. You got two basketballs back there rubbing, and you out all day, the basketballs rubbing together, and you done pooped and then wiped with tissue or some wet tissue. You got all type of booty juice, googie, all in the big butt cheeks. Them butt cheeks is huge. It's been hot. You've been walking around, sitting in the car, you switching your butt. You got all type of booty friction juice. You go to, then you want to try to climb that booty's nasty, stinky juice in the bed and want to, somebody been to hit it from the back, even to open that, whoa, and knock somebody back to the wall. You're like, whoa, what in the booty, majuty juice? Clean yourself. Everybody. Clean yourself. Clean your booty. Your booty is, because the booty is an exit and the poop is, the waste is supposed to come out of there, and that stuff stinks because we eat all type of nasty stuff. So clean it. Extra clean. Squeaky. I squeaky clean it. Sometimes you got to go back. You know how you have a poop, right? But it was kind of soft this time. I don't know, your stomach was a little agitated, so it was kind of hot, like, right? And it kind of stinks a little bit, right? Like more than normal. You're like, ooh, it came out hot, like, right? And then, so you clean yourself. Don't be scared to double back, right? You like, when those happen, I'm like, because you keep scrubbing and scrubbing and scrubbing, and it's just, because what I do, guys, with the wipes is I keep scrubbing until nothing is on the wipe, like till I wipe it and it's clean. That's how I know it's squeaky. But sometimes you keep wiping and it's like just a little, you like, okay, okay. And then I go out, it be on my mind. So I double back, come back like an hour later, come back, and just pull my pants down, get a wipe, and like, ooh, oh, hey, let's go. So don't be scared to double back, okay? PSA, clean the crack, right? All right, so you need to you need to take your showers and clean it. Get you a shower head, because I see people, I don't know how y'all supposed to be cleaning your crack if you ain't got no shower head. What, you trying to put your butt over in the toilet and take the water and go like this? I don't know what that's all about. You need a shower head. You need one that pull off and clean yourself. You want to smell clean, keep your booty clean. Your booty is important to be clean. That's nasty waste come out of there. Clean it. Get your shower head, get you some wipes. shower head thing. They got one that only costs $20. You ain't got to get the crazy expensive one. The ones that come off the thing. You can take it and clean your shower and clean yourself. Clean it. Clean it. Get all the soap out of there. Right? Clean yourself. All right. Clean your coochies. Women with big breasts, clean under the breasts. We don't want no, what they call that stuff that's under there. I forgot what they call that. You know, the lint, that stuff that be under there. We don't want to clean under there. Lift those flats, ladies. Men, if you overset, lift in between your rolls. You don't want that there. And men, lift under your balls and clean your booty hole. And your feet too. Clean your feet too, in between your toes. And I got a little tip for your toes, for your feet. Clean in between your feet. And then if you ever feel like you still rub your finger in between your toes and give it a smell every now and then. You want to, right? You might see, ooh, right? And then what you can do is they got alcohol, guys, on a rag. Alcohol disinfects smells. So if you take alcohol on a rag and you put alcohol on the rag and rub it in between your toes, it eliminates alcohol in your underarm. It eliminates all odor. Alcohol disinfects the odor. You don't want to put it down there. It could you could be in a world of trouble. Guys, I don't know. Women definitely don't mess around. You can get burnt up down there. But in your between your toes, you don't want to put in your booty either. In between your toes. Okay? If you want to get it squeaky, keep your feet clean too. I don't like no stinky feet. I don't like stinky people. Feet be stinking and stuff. I had a chick one time, her feet was stinking. You know, men, I still smash. Y'all know, men, we nasty though I do. I still smash for stinky feet, right? But, okay, so, all right, I guess that that concludes our health lesson. Fair use. Fair use. And alcohol cleans your scalp too. Alcohol on a rag in between wash, shampoo, your hair. For people with locks and stuff, I put it every day. I alcohol my scalp every day because I only wash my hair once a month for my locks. So alcohol on a rag cleans your scalp, disinfects. All right, and I put alcohol on me. I'm an alcohol dude. Because I have oily skin. So it just disinfect. Alcohol, everything on the rag. I did it before the study. It be squeaky clean. All right. So, Yada said your stinky feet make the bottom of the bed stink. That is nasty. I'm quite sure that happened too. Mama Yah said, welcome to 25 to Life with Dr. Uncle Yahshua. Yeah, that's that elder. That's where that eldership come from. And I was always clean. So all praise to the Most High. And I'm glad we got to end this with a little laughter because the first part was really heavy, but we got the fruit from it. Keep an eye on the swivel. Watch out, the darkness is getting darker. Take care of the elders, the weak, the homeless, the elderly, the babies. Take care of one another, period. But watch out for the children because the darkness has an affinity always to want to harm the innocence of the children is what devils feed off. They get the fear and the innocence of children. They feed off it. So our duties is to take care of the babies, okay? Protect. Make sure you take care of the babies. Watch all yours in your family. Watch your children and look for signs. You should see a joy in children. You should be able to see the signs. All right. I know this was a different one, but I think I liked it at the end. I liked the whole thing, but the end part was funny. So all praise to the Most High. Thank you for joining me on Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. Another one down. Yes, we ended. Next week, I guess we'll continue with the story of the journey of my life. But I'm gonna have videos coming again on this channel. I'm getting back to doing the videos so the channel could continue to grow because it's still growing, but I ain't been putting out videos. It's growing off the old videos. So I'm gonna start giving the people what they want, more of these videos. So thank you for joining me for doing this video that the Most High instructed me about the young little boy Adam, and for the children that's being abused and all of that, and to exposing it. because I'm going to separate it, that part, and make it another video too, and eventually and stuff. So thank you. I love you all, and thank you for joining Uncle Yahshua 25 to Life Testimony TV. Another one down. Keep it functional. Y'all know how we go. I'll see everybody again tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time, 8-ish, for the Bible study. It's going to be a good one tomorrow night. The Most High gave me what I need to bring out, so I'm going to start working on that after I finish this for tomorrow night. Be teaching something, and we're going into the scripts. It's going to be a great one. I love you all. Go forth and be the light that you are in this darkness. Thank you for joining. And thank you, Father, for allowing us to have laughter at the end, and teach your children to clean themselves and keep themselves clean, because the scripture says cleanliness is next to the Most High, right? Cleanliness is next to godliness. The Most High wants us to be clean inside and out. Clean temple, clean spirit, clean raya. You see, keep yourself clean, the light. Righteous, so holy and set apart. Clean yourselves up, guys, men and women. We like a clean, good smelling person. All right. All love to everybody. I love you all, Mashiach Assembly Ministries, and everybody at home. I love you all. See y'all next week. Uncle Yahshua 25 Life Testimony TV. Everybody else, I'll see y'all tomorrow on the Shabbat Bible study. I love y'all all. Love the Most High. Y'all, we out.
This is 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. You wanna know why they call me Lucky Lucha? They call me Lucha cause I like to tuck that Tucci. All the time on the grind, getting that Duce. This is a little story on 25 to Life with Uncle Yahshua. Like and subscribe for more incredible stories every week.
Police are on the scene of a triple homicide on Long Island. It happened overnight at a home in Hempstead.
I'm from Hempstead, Parkside, the ghetto, the dog's high, strong.